What are you working on?
Me.
I'm not working on it. My hand hurts. I tried to punch the wall like XQC did.
I thought you were like working on grip training.
No.
Speaking of grip training, look at these grippers. I'm distracted. He's got his feet out.
Oh my!
Can we talk size?
So you're gonna have to put these up for wikifeet really quick.
Are you okay with that?
What, for my feet to be on wikifeet?
Yeah.
I got a pretty good rating on there. I got nothing to be ashamed of.
Wait.
Yeah.
Do you?
Yeah, not as good as yours though. I heard that you got over a 5.
It's over 5.
How?
Which is a 5 out of 5 scale. So you have over a 5.
Yeah, how does that happen?
It's because sometimes the grippers be that good.
Extra
Yo,
toes.
Zipper 7. We got a new
It's
zipper
yen.
in the booth.
It's just yen.
Can
We talked about yen before.
Oh, we
Yeah.
said okay.
Yeah,
so
we
we
said
said
to hide
multiple
Yen's
times.
identity.
I didn't know. I wanted to keep
Yen
it.
is like a zipper apprentice.
Yeah, he's a journeyman zipper.
Do you know
He's
about
the
Zipper?
Mickey Mouse to the wizard.
Do you know about Zipper?
I don't know about Zipper, no.
Zipper is like our ethereal floating zipper man. He is our producer for the show.
Back there?
Zipper's not here today.
Oh.
But we just have a guy named Yan.
So we have a friend of ours.
When we have a
named Yan.
guest, we can't have Zipper here because you can't see the floating zipper.
Exactly. Yeah.
Otherwise, it like melts your eyes.
He's ethereal.
Mhm.
Anyway, welcome back to the yard. We have beautiful guest today,
Hello, thank you.
Anthony Padilla.
Thank you so much.
Thank you as well.
Obviously not talking about you.
And thank you.
Yeah, too. From one Anthony to another.
And
And
thank
I'm
you.
also the oldest person in the room, is that right?
Yes.
The first thing you did, you're like,
no,
I'm
hold
Anthony.
on. Still bald.
You
Just
barely
relax.
greeted him. You barely greeted him. You walked in the kitchen and you were like, how old are you? Like,
I introduced myself and with my same name and that I have as
Yes.
well. And I said, how old are you? Because I remember you used to pretend to be Sub-Zero and do this. And I was like, I remember.
Damn.
Yeah,
you-
dude,
That goes way back.
I know I'm old,
You
like
were,
you.
You were what? Like you were like 14?
I was, yeah. I was 14 smoking mad weed, watching
Oh.
your on dial-up.
Nice. Dial-up.
Isn't that cool?
So was it loading? Was it like you
yeah, it was
like
buffer. I had to let it sit there all day.
Just seeing the freeze frame of
And it was net
I
zero.
gotta know what happens next.
Yeah, and I was like, they're gonna do another Mortal Kombat character. It's gonna be really fun. I do remember back then. I was like, dude, other people think video games are cool because I lived in like a rural area. Like it sucked, and no one was into like stuff because it was in the mountains.
They're like, we're into cows and farms.
Not even unironically.
Oh, you're in the mountains.
Yeah, I was in the mountains, which have cows.
Oh,
But yeah, so
What exists there?
Anthony, he's an
Don't
older
say
Anthony.
it like we're gonna be
Wow.
like, really? Don't say it like, whoa, awesome.
Why
fact.
not? He's polite.
Make
We're
you feel-
the issue on politeness in this podcast.
Oh, yeah, you
No,
are.
you are.
Give me the horse.
first guest, by the way, that he's seen any of their content.
Oh,
we're on
that
like
true?
maybe
This is the first one.
guest 10.
Yeah.
I want you to know that every guest interaction up until now is him going up to Mr. Beast of all people and being like, so what do you do? Like,
I've never watched a single video that you've ever made.
I didn't say like a dick.
did.
thing.
No, you
Right,
did.
right.
No,
You
I
said-
didn't.
Yes, you do.
No, I didn't.
How did it go? How did it go?
I was like, pretend you're Mr. Beast. Can you get in the mindset?
Okay. Billions of dollars
Yep.
to my name. Okay.
You're
Yeah.
21.
Yes. Yeah.
Hey, Mr. Beast, love you. I love you.
So you confess your love
I'm
to him.
I'm in love with you.
yes,
Oh, that's
please
how it
stay
started.
character. Please stay character.
Oh, sorry. Oh, sorry. Character.
Yeah. I'm in love with you, Mr. Beast.
Right. I know. Yes. Do you want some money?
Yes, thank you, Mr. Beast.
Okay.
And scene.
Wow.
So that's how it actually went
Yeah.
down.
Yeah,
Yeah?
you're a fucking moron. So, Anthony has no barometer for whether or not he's nice to someone. We were at fucking Chick-fil-A.
Dude, no.
We were at-
Go fuck
we
yourself.
were at
This is
Chick-fil-A
not fair.
2 days ago.
No, it was Cane's.
Oh, Cane's. Sorry, it was Cane's. He's right. Shut up. We were at Cane's 2 days ago, and we're in the drive-thru. We're in the drive-thru, and we pull up to the window, and the guy at the register goes, "All right, here's your total." And Anthony's like, "Oh, thanks." And the guy's like, "Oh, you're Slime, right?" And he's like, "Yeah." And he's like, "So what are you doing here?" And Slime's like, "Getting chicken." Exactly like that.
True.
And everyone in the car erupts laughing. It's
You guys
like
are
so.
evil.
No, we are not evil.
You guys are the evil
He
ones.
keeps saying that we are evil for laughing at the guy.
Yeah,
but
like it
we're
was
laughing
fucking high
at
school.
Slime.
Yeah, you're laughing at
for
Slime.
being like ridiculously
For being a
mean for no
full-on
reason.
Dickhead.
Is that a mean thing?
To be like to sort of take him a tone of like getting chicken, like dumb question, ask again.
I was so.
It wasn't like getting
listen,
chicken. How are you doing?
You fucking fuckers at home. I'm the bad guy.
Oh,
right? I'm the
you're the bad boy of the group.
Bald boy,
Oh,
bad boy.
yeah.
Just bald boy.
They're gonna
Oh.
fucking be in the comments being like, Slime's a fucking asshole, bro. Fucking you guys don't have a real job. Like, you should be happy. I am. But listen, I was in the Hell in a Cell with 3 guys that would not shut their fucking mouth. And it was him, Kalen from Australia, and Mike. and they were roasting me.
No, we weren't.
All trip.
The extent,
oh my
the
God.
extent of
And
what
I
happened.
couldn't handle it, bro.
The extent of what happened is they have like a 4-piece chicken and a 6-piece, and Caleb was like, "Can you ask if they have 5?"
That's not it.
That was
it
the extent of what
Caleb
happened.
asking if I could find it. You were demanding to tell your own order into the drive-thru. You're like, I want to do it. I want to do it.
No,
like
I
you're a
said,
fucking
can
child.
I said, "Can I order for myself?" And then he just ordered for
and
me
then
anyway.
Mike's just like talking as well, and it's just like 3 people just throwing verbal shit everywhere. And I'm in the car already. I have sensory like overload issues. And I'm like, ugh. And then this fucking guy is like asking what I'm doing here. It's like, what the fuck do you want from me? What do you think I'm doing here?
That's the part I don't get.
That's mean.
Because that person has none of this context that's in your head, but you still unleash wrath on them.
Yeah, because he could have just said, "Oh, cool, nice to see you."
Yeah, it was his fault. Anthony, you have a lot of interactions with fans. How do you deal with them? Do you say, "What do you think I'm doing at Pier 1? I'm getting expensive water."
It is funny when they're like, "This is so random." I'm like, I've been planning this trip for months. It's not super random. I don't know. I try to be polite, and I think there was a period of my life where I was like, "Oh fuck, someone might recognize me." And then I got to talk to people, and then I got to like amp up like the persona that they want me to like be super like exciting and all these things that they expect. Because I think it probably happened one time when someone met me and they're like, "Are you Anthony Padilla?" I was like, "Yeah," and they're like, "You're not as funny as I thought you would be." I was like, "I just met you, bro. I said hi." Give me 5 minutes. Give me 5 minutes. And
He's like, he's really disappointed you didn't launch into 5 minutes of stand up in front of him.
I'm like, "What the fuck? Do you want me to do a backflip here?" Like, what? But now I'm really grateful that there are people out there that appreciate the things that I've done as much as I appreciate it, you know. And I try to go in with that mindset. So it's pretty chill.
We
Have you
don't
ever thought
have to
that?
break rocks.
Have you
Yes,
ever been appreciated?
we don't have to break rocks with other rocks. Like we live like meme lives, and that's okay to
Rocks.
break- You know what I'm saying?
rock.
We
I
don't
was
have-
thinking about rocks
We
too.
don't have
just
to put
now.
wood
don't-
together and hammer nails into
Although
it.
iron baguette's
Yeah.
steel, you don't have to baguette all the time.
That's
What
I be
are you
getting
talking
sealed.
about bread for? Give me the horse.
What?
I want him. I like this horse. All right. Anyway, I think that you've been in the game for a long goddamn time. That's the thing. You were
Yeah.
like in the internet before it was like, what's the earliest memory you have of being like recognized for being on the internet?
I was in a Subway. Ian and I
fresh.
were in a Subway. Yeah, we were eating so fucking fresh. And the last thing I was expecting was that someone would recognize me. And it was right after the Mortal Kombat video had gone viral.
It's just all time. I'm telling you guys. Before, like you guys have, you can watch Fortnite if fucking 30 hours straight and just into your brains and inject it. Back in the day, you guys came out with that and the fucking Ninja Turtles thing,
Yeah.
which was essentially just a music video.
Yeah.
And I was like, this is it. We've peaked with content.
There was so little content on the internet then. It was like back in the day on TV when there's like 3 channels. It was like, what the fuck?
It was
Content.
gold. Yeah, sorry, go on.
No, by the way, you know that Ian hid, like, he mooned the camera in one shot, and I don't think that anyone has ever.
Oh my.
Maybe a couple people
Butts on
realized
YouTube?
One
it. It's
friend?
on YouTube.
At Butts on YouTube?
Yeah, it's there. It's there.
It's still to this day.
It's still to this day. It's there. It's been on TV.
Susan-
You might have just nuked yourself.
Yeah,
Damn.
Susan has an RPG.
It's not my
living
fucking
right
channel
now.
anymore. I don't care. Whatever. delete the video. So I was in there, and there was this guy just eating his fucking pastrami sandwich, and he looks over and he's like, "Are you the guys that did the Mortal Kombat video?" And we're like, "Yeah, like this is our first time being recognized." And he's
Hell
like,
yeah.
"It fucking sucks."
Dude.
Fucking way. Dude, getting owned that
I'm
early.
like 18 years old. Like, what?
That was slime in a Colorado town.
Yeah, I was 14 just capping because I loved it, but I wanted to seem cool.
And
That's so good.
I didn't really think about like how do I come off reacting to that kind of thing. And I think you could probably see in my face I was like, oh, a little taken off guard. He's like, "Oh, you took that seriously?" Okay.
Dude, they will always be the same.
Wow.
Everyone will always
Yep.
be the same.
Yep.
Dude, I was just kidding, bro. Why'd you block me?
Right.
Like, go
right.
fuck yourself. That's fucking wild.
No, but he kept firm. He wasn't like, "Oh, I'm just kidding, dude. I actually," no, it was like, fucking sucked.
Wow.
Yeah, and that was my first exposure to
that dude now,
IRL.
Jared Fogle.
Hero.
Yeah.
Dude, for like months, I was R&D'ing the best Subway sandwich because I was supposed to have a really big Subway sponsor in 2023.
Ooh.
Which I felt partially bad about because every time I would go, Slime would say, "Have fun eating your plastics. It's plastic time for you."
Yeah, I would say you're gonna eat a credit card today. That's nice for your body and bones.
It's because when you put the cheese on the credit card and they toast it, it tastes really good. So.
You could scrape the numbers off with your teeth.
Yeah. And so I've been R&Ding it, but every sandwich I got that I thought was good came out to about like $13 a sandwich, which is like, that can't be the Ludwig sandwich. I can't have people go to Subway and spend twice as much as they should.
You don't go to Subway for a premium costing sandwich.
Yeah, exactly.
You go for
elsewhere.
Eat fresh.
So I finally find my sandwich like 2 weeks ago, and it's just the rotisserie chicken with pepper jack cheese and like delicious toppings and a bit of the creamy sriracha. And then the next day I hear they're like, they went with someone else. I was like, you fuckers!
Wow.
I ate so much plastic for nothing.
Dude, yeah.
I paid a premium to eat plastic for weeks, and I didn't get my sponsorship.
I've been shitting out credit cards actually whole.
Did they give you the courtesy of telling you why?
They went with, I don't, maybe I'll have to bleep this, but I'll tell you guys, they went with, I think, G2 Esports.
What? It was you and them?
Yes.
Do you think
that's crazy?
Do you think they regret it now?
It was after. It was after.
No.
They were like, hold on, based company.
Hold on. So you're telling me Andrew Tate will eat our sandwiches? Do you know about that?
No.
G2 Esports is a company that their CEO partied with Andrew Tate, tweeted out about it, doubled down after getting feedback that, hey, we don't like this. It makes us feel unsafe.
He's like, you can't choose my friends.
He said, you can't choose my friends. Party with who I want. Then he lost like a $15 million spot in an esports competition. Like he was supposed to be a team in there. They cut his team from it because he's a CEO. Then he got kicked out as CEO of his team. All because he partied with Andrew Tate and then doubled and tripled down on it.
He essentially said sorry for party rocking, and then he was not sorry.
But he is now a part of Lumphao.
What's that?
What is that?
Is that no, that's his friend. He has a really old friend, like 60 years old.
LMFAO.
Lumphao. You don't call him Lumphao?
Nope.
Yeah,
That's a new thing.
You guys are not on the club scene.
But now they got a sponsor. Now they got a sponsor with Subway.
They lost Carlos, but they gained Subway, so they're eating fresher by the day.
Who's the real fucking loser in that?
Yeah, Carlos and me. Two
Wait,
losers.
I was gonna ask you, was there like on the topic of meeting people, do you think there's a change in expectation of meeting fans between like when you did Smosh and when since you've become your own brand like independently in the past few years?
You mean in terms of like when I was with Smosh and people would meet me versus now as an individual?
You were talking about people's expectations, and I feel like they would have changed a lot with how you've been.
A little bit. I feel like now they just want to have like a real conversation. Although there are people that are like, oh, I know you from Smosh. Take a picture with me. Okay, bye. I don't care about you now. But I think it's a little bit more real now because the interviews that I'm doing, the type of content that I'm doing now is a lot less like joke. So it's a little bit less of an expectation for me just to be funny and perform.
Yeah.
Do you have older viewers?
Yeah, you know what's weird is they range like all over the board. Literally, I've met people in their 40s, 50s. I'm so caught off guard whenever there's like someone with graying hair that's like, "Oh my god, yo, what's up?" I'm like, aren't you? Oh shit. Oh wait, you got graying hair too?
I don't got gray hair. I just have no hair.
When it grows out, it's only here, and it's like a ponytail. It's full gray.
Yeah, I look like a cool samurai.
And then ayahuasca appears.
Self-proclaimed cool samurai.
Yeah.
And then there are young kids. I'm like, what are you watching from me? Like 8-year-olds. I'm like, I don't think I've said anything appropriate for an 8-year-old to hear ever.
Well, I'm about to Mr. Beast you right now. What do you do?
So you don't know what I do now. Yeah, so I pivoted.
So it's actually so Mortal Kombat videos.
Finally, we're falling back into the form of a typical guest
It's like, which Mortal Kombat video are you on? It's not like 50
he just kept making those for like 10 years.
Oh, cool.
Yeah, it's been super successful. So I pivoted away from Smosh about 5 years ago. Did not know what the fuck I was doing on my own, and eventually found my place in doing interviews with people. I just interviewed this this young chap over
Okay.
here
How'd it go?
recently.
Was he
It went
interesting?
horrible. No, not at all.
Fair
Yeah.
enough. Yeah.
So yeah,
What
a lot
the
of fluff.
The day you got back, because he pointed it out. You pointed it out on the fridge.
Yeah, I
You're
saw
like,
the
this is so
Polaroid.
cute. The day you got back from the interview, you put up the little Polaroid of you two
It
on the
was so
fridge.
cute.
On the fridge immediately.
I was like,
Yeah.
it really meant something.
He doesn't put much
to
on the
him.
fridge.
Yeah, the
Yeah,
fridge is
that's
like
huge.
his best friend that he's known his entire life, like a wedding invitation, and you.
Yeah, and a selfie.
My big two. Yeah, I look good in that one.
Yeah, but what Polaroid ends up on your computer monitor?
True the balls.
It's
Oh, you know your lore.
I know the lore.
Whoa.
I know the ball lore.
Wait, that's deeper cut.
Oh, it was pretty deep, and I expect to see it first. I mean, the picture firsthand.
Oh,
We'll send you the raw wax.
Oh,
footage. You can-
he'll get it out if you want
Yeah,
to.
yeah.
Wait, tell you what, we'll go downstairs. We'll go next to the hole in the wall that XQC put into it, and then I'll put my balls next to it.
I
and
like-
then
Put your
we
balls
can
in it,
pose.
like it's what made the hole.
Yeah.
Whoops.
I like how gently you say XQC put a hole in a. He didn't.
Oh, we should probably talk about
We
that.
need context. We need context that XQC is in Los Angeles for the show Juiced that I produced for him that went swimmingly. And he's staying here because TwitchCon is this coming weekend. And he slept at our place last night. And XQC is, if you watch his content, renowned for being really, really bad at sleeping. Like he's a terrible sleeper, sleeps like maybe a couple hours a night. And has, as he warned us last night.
Yeah, he warned us. That's why I felt decent about it. Because I was like, well, he told us.
Yeah, last night
he told us what happened.
He really did all he could.
He did everything good.
We talked for a few hours last night. He like talked like about everything under the sun, and then he was like, okay, dude, I'm gonna go to bed, but just so you guys know, I might wake up in the middle of the night and I have night terrors, and I hopefully
I might run out of the house, and I just might run, and it's okay. I'm like,
Your guys' impression.
I'm like,
of
you
it.
might run out of the house? Is that what you just said? I'm like, I don't know what they're talking about. I'm sure it's fine.
basically like he wakes up in the middle of the night, not in a awake state.
Yeah.
Like he's still like somewhat dreaming, and like his senses aren't fully there, and the only thing he wants to do is like escape. Like fight or
Right.
flight, like max adrenaline. So he's trying to escape the house. And so me and Cutie are like, all right, let's lock up all the pets in our room in
I was
case he
gonna
just
say, why were
opens
the
the door.
pets locked up this morning? But now it all makes sense.
Yeah, because Ohio one of the cats against the fucking wall.
Dude, oh my god, I am so like, we were up pretty late, and I was like, fuck, we have the pod in the morning. I should probably get like good sleep. I'm like working on the video that played fucking before this episode, and I'm like, I should get sleep. I get to bed, I'm having a little bit of trouble sleeping. I finally get to that moment, like right when you're like, oh yeah, I'm sleeping the next couple fucking minutes if my eyes are closed. And my eyes are closed, and I just hear door swing open. I hear like battle cry, like full blood curdling scream, and then stomp, 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 stomp. I hear airtime, like stomp, and then no more stomps, and then crash. And he puts a fucking gaping hole in the wall that connects to my bathroom.
It's really big.
Is it that hall right there?
Yeah. So he puts this huge fucking hole in the wall with like, I imagine his like fist, knee, or foot, like with the height of it. Like he definitely jumped and then created a hole.
I think it's his knee because I, right before this, tried to do the same thing. Kind of like
sober, awake,
okay,
alone.
No one was around. It's just like, whoa. It's like in Titanic when she's like, when he instructs her to like hit the axe with the same spot. You guys seen this? He hasn't seen movies.
I've
roasted
seen
him.
Titanic.
Me and
I've
Anthony
seen
roasted him about
Titanic.
this. It was great. In the
Anthony
kitchen. You
wasn't
remember that.
roasting me.
Give me some, bro.
so like the boat goes down. And
Yeah.
Fucking tired of
If
you.
you ever done on
that's
the stage,
20
just
years
say,
of industry
Anyway, so
experience.
I'm like, shoot, trying to swing, and I was like, I want to be like that, and I tried to punch above where he did, and it like either there's a stud or
Dude,
I'm not strong enough.
he goes, I must have hit a stud.
You're just weak as fuck,
actually,
It
bro.
hurt
it is
really bad.
actually amazing because context. Anthony has put a hole in the drywall before with a hammer to just
That was
scare,
smaller
to,
than the
for fun,
XQC
to
hole.
scare me.
Yeah.
Is this a
While
common
it's in
thing
my
for the
room.
drywall to just be destroyed
yeah.
in his house?
Yeah, unfortunately. And so
Very
Anthony,
unfortunate for me. Yes,
Anthony
on my dime.
upon seeing that XQC has put a larger hole in the wall with his body than he could with a hammer, has to attempt to outdo him.
If you like see a
jealous.
dude rob a bank, are you just like piggybacking like, all right, give me some money too?
I was a little jealous.
Yeah.
He did better than me. He's
Richer, more crypto,
he
more
has
hoes.
more crypto, more hoes.
Cool
I-
car.
I just wanted
Cool car.
one thing.
There's a chance non-zero that it was his fist because he told me that in these night terrors, it's like peak adrenaline and that he uses strength that he doesn't normally have and that
Right.
he wakes up like incredibly sore sometimes because he's pushed something that he doesn't normally like.
Dude.
He's like maxed out his muscles. Like 150%.
Imagine giving Night Terror XQC a skateboard and what would be possible.
Goldfinger starts playing in his head.
Last week we watched XQC do a tray flip in his room on a skateboard. Yeah. So.
Yeah, he's screaming. He's screaming, no, and running down the hall.
Oh my God.
And then I just hear him stop, which I think is the moment Lud got him.
Yeah, so I
wrapped him up.
Did you have to grapple him?
Well, I was woken up by Cutie. I was sleeping through all of this, and she woke up in a panic because she's like, ever since the swatting, she's just a nervous little mouse. Yeah. And so this was not great to have someone stomping through the house.
This would be bad for your swatting PTSD. I will admit.
So she's like, get up, and I'm like, all right. And then I roll out of bed.
Yeah, 5 minutes.
And I see XQC, and he looks lost, like Mr. Krabs meme. And I walk up to him and I just put my hand around his shoulder. I'm like, it's all right, man. And he's like, dude. And then he like slowly, like, I think it's literally just human touch. And then he like kind of snaps out of it.
Wow.
And so then he's like, oh. And then he's like instantly like a little like embarrassed. And he's like very apologetic. He's like, I'm sorry, dude. And I was like, it's okay, man. We'll just go to bed. And as we're walking, we see the hallway. And this is the first time I've seen it. Also the first time in his conscious, he's seen it. He's like, oh, I'm so sorry,
bro.
And I'm like, dude, it's not a big deal. In the back of my head, I'm like, slime's done worse, wide awake.
Yes, sir.
Cops blew a way bigger hole in the ceiling the other week.
Yeah. The PR currently goes.
LAPD had sitting on top.
Yeah, true. Yeah, they do fucking number one. So I put him, I bring him back to his bed. I'm like, you want me to sleep here? He's like, no, actually, after this, I actually sleep amazing. I'm like, all right, great. He's like, I just need to get it out of my system.
I just need to get it out.
This is great.
Yeah. It's like ASMR for me. Puts it right to bed.
And then I go back to bed, and then that was it. And so he didn't even know that he did it.
Oof.
Wow.
And you were conscious, and you couldn't even one up.
Dude, I know. Dude, I tried.
I think it was knee because he would definitely have had way more hand pain and soreness this morning.
Yeah, I mean, like, hey, you give it a shot when we get down there. How about that?
Okay, we'll do a one-on-one.
Yeah,
we'll see what we got.
Baby.
Knees or fists?
Any
body part
fist.
good?
Let's do fists.
I think
hey,
we should
rings
just,
off. Rings off.
Okay.
No Super Bowl champs.
Damn.
We all give it a shot.
That was my ringer.
For sure.
Yeah, that would hurt me more than anyone else. Yeah.
But yeah, that is so cool. That makes me wish I still lived here.
Have you? Oh, sorry. You can go ahead.
I used to have night terrors as a kid. Nothing like that.
What's it like?
Absolutely fucking terrifying. And I can't tell if I was having a panic attack or if I was sleepwalking, but it was this horrifying feeling of like which now sounds really metaphysical and crazy spiritual almost. Like I felt like I was the consciousness in the back of my head observing my body as it just moved. And it was terrifying. It was almost like I was perceiving
like a Gundam operator.
Yes.
Or Ratatouille.
Or that Zaza.
You're the mouse in Ratatouille.
The Gundam of Pixar.
Do you have control over the body, or you just? Oh,
no. It was like
an
I was just
observer.
observing. What's that movie where they go into that weird little room and they're like that weird half floor and they're like they get to observe.
Oh,
Tom
Tom
and
and Jerry.
John Malkovich.
Yes,
Yeah.
being John Malkovich. What did you say?
Tom and Jerry.
That's what you
go in
get,
a little
bro.
room.
John Malkovich is great.
Yeah, so it felt like being John Malkovich, which freaked me out when I saw it. But it was like I was the consciousness observing my body, and all my thoughts were like, "Oh shit, what the fuck? This is." But strangely, when I had a panic attack while smoking a shit ton of weed when I was like 20, it was the same feeling. So I don't know if it was a panic attack or not.
Okay, illegal. Definitely telling on you after this.
I mean, 21. And
It was 21. And it was 2015 in Washington. It wasn't insane.
I had that too when I was a kid. I had night terrors.
Yeah.
Except in French, yeah?
Yeah, I would wake up. I'd be fluent.
You had to brush your teeth for an hour.
I'd have to eat normal food for like 1 hour. I'd be like,
Wait, are you French?
No.
Okay, I was wondering if it was a French thing.
Oh,
Because it would be a trend.
Oh, yeah,
The three of
excuse
you.
me.
Oh, excuse me. Okay.
He's
Yeah.
literally not French. He's Quebecois.
He's Canadian. That's
Why
the same
do
thing.
you always do this? You always think we
Quebecois.
care about
You're
the
right. You're right.
difference.
Me and XQC are more similar than you and
Actually,
He
XQC.
speaks
Yes.
French. That's enough for me.
He speaks Quebecois.
It's French.
I don't watch anime. I don't know what you're talking about.
C'est pas la même chose.
Wait, what were they like for you?
shows.
Huh? For me, I woke up and I would have terrifying nightmares of really big numbers. It's the only way I can describe it. I would
Like
just
pie?
Like,
Dude, pie bang.
Like are we talking like Sesame Street anthropomorphic numbers like chasing you?
Yeah, it was Count Dracula, and he would just fuck my day
He's
up.
like, well, what about 4 billion?
I'm talking about when Elmo is like looking at the screen and there's like the number 8 with eyes. Like
He's got like arms and he's T-posing.
I think I was really into patterns in like 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, 12, and like doing that in my head, and like and just finding patterns and then like extending those patterns consciously. And so then when I would sleep, sometimes it would like auto do that to numbers that were like inconceivably large.
Bro, you're like a savant.
It would like
this is like,
well, no, because
I'm learning this.
then it would short circuit my brain, and then I would go in a loop where I'd wake up from it, and then I would fall right back into it. And then if it happened enough, I'd be like sleep deprived enough that I would have a night terror and I would physically get up. And then it was like circus land, because then it would be like bugs on the floor in my head. Like little green scarab bugs, because I was terrified
Obviously, it
of bugs.
would become bugs on the floor.
It was like all your fears coming to life.
Yeah,
It was like it.
it was always like the most genuine fear. So like one time it was the bugs when it was just me and my sister who were home, and I thought there was bugs everywhere, and I was like walking around and my sister's freaking out because she was scared of everything. She's like, "What the fuck are you doing?" And then another one was like, this happened several times. After my dad passed, it would be a samurai was coming to our house to kill my mom.
it was him
cut your
with his
hair.
hair grown out.
Yeah, it was Anthony's hair. And I found out it was actually to lay pipe, which is worse.
Oh yeah. I'm a different kind of
I
samurai.
would physically get up to stop the samurai. I had it for years.
There's a samurai who can walk on water and is invincible, and he's walking towards your house every day, and you're given infinite money. How would you escape him?
Yeah, that's actually.
Dude, that's crazy. I didn't know you were. I didn't know you suffered as a kid.
Yeah.
I
You
didn't
thought
know
you just
had
like
pain.
free flowing through life, no
I have
suffering.
to look at him. Look at this shit.
Anthony has this thing where when he finds out you've like suffered in any way, he
Yeah.
like likes you now more.
Oh, you like people who have gone through suffering.
Not
Yeah.
even like real suffering. Like he just didn't. He didn't like me when we met.
Yeah.
But then he found out I have a fear of throwing up, and then he did like me.
Yeah, I
Oh.
told him in an In-N-Out bathroom in Las Vegas. I said, "That's the most interesting thing about you."
Yeah.
Which is mean.
Yeah, that was really mean to say.
Do you try to get him to throw up now?
No, that's the thing. I now I nurture that, and I don't try to do that.
Your nurturing side comes out.
Yeah.
No, he still locks us in a room and like drops like 8-second farts.
Yeah, but that's not trying to. That's not me going like trying to pretend to throw up. That's what gets you. You know what I'm saying?
You know what I've noticed
What?
is we keep getting meundies packages, and I
Like
wear
these?
literally
Like
all
these?
of them.
Wait, where's Anthony Padilla?
None of you.
Oh,
He disappeared.
that's so spooky.
He's a horse now.
This is so scary. But it's
horse.
not as spooky as how soft meundies is.
Rip. Oh, that was a bad
Wow.
rip. It didn't rip very well.
Yikes.
But that was me. It wasn't, you know.
What's scary is how bad that rip was.
Listen,
Hold
it's
on.
skeleton
It's
season.
floating. Oh my god. Woo! They're not Halloween themed, unfortunately. I
Yeah.
guess you guys.
Give them
Give
to
me.
me, because they're gonna go to me. I'm gonna
No, I want that. I want.
You're not
You
gonna
don't know
wear
what
them.
happened to me this past week, and I have
What
to tell you.
happened?
What, you got-
What happened? It's
Give
some-
me the
You got skid
underwear.
marks. You got
Something-
skid marks.
did
You
something
got skid
scary
I
marks.
didn't
happen?
get skid marks. Something
something-
scary happened.
What?
Can I
Did-
sniff your skid
I
mark?
got all of my clothes washed,
Uh-huh.
and then the underwear was not in the bag when it returned. I have zero underwear. This is not a meme. Literally, all of my underwear was thieved, larcened away from me.
Wow.
Hey, well, can I give you something really quick?
I just don't know if these underwear will be good though.
Okay, one. I think you should start doing your own laundry. That'd be great. You could change that in your life.
Oh, really? I think you should start getting your own hairstyle.
Oh,
Copycat?
Huge. Absolutely huge. Point for Ludwig. Another point is that I think these are pretty scary.
They're
in
scary
a good
soft.
Way. They're
More
scary
like it.
soft in a good way. You know, you put that on. Tell me if you feel like you have anything on when you put those on. It's modal fabric, so.
That's the thing. They got that micromodal fabric. Feels like you got nothing down there. I want to be like, I want to wear you, Aiden, and I want to feel nothing down there.
I want
with
to feel
you.
nothing like you,
I want
Aiden.
you're like a Ken doll.
I'm soft like meundies.
You're
Look,
like a Ken doll. You got
hold on.
nothing down there when you
We
put
always
these
do
on.
these reads. We always make them 5,000 minutes long. Let's just get right to it. Look, 20% off, free shipping on your whole order, 100% satisfaction guarantee. You're gonna want to go to meundies.com/LobToLudwig.
The Yard. That's
Oh!
meundies.com/.
The Yard. It's also skeleton season, so there's a bunch of little spooky designs. They got like spooky stuff on there.
Look, your Halloween costume could just be you in underwear. Just
That's
don't
true.
go
And
out
you
in
be
public.
hot.
You
It's
need
either
to
hot
be at
and ripped.
home if you do that.
Do that.
Stay home if you're in your underwear,
Go
your
out.
meundies.
or
go out.
Or do our new idea, which is going out in nothing but meundies underwear and going to yard sales and trying to get the best outfit with your friends.
Yes.
Oh, go to yard sales in your underwear and ask them
Yes.
questions.
Do
Yes.
this. Do it.
We
do it.
command
do
you
it.
to do
Go
this.
outside in your
Do it.
underwear. Go
All right, and that's
outside.
meundies.com/CR, 20% off your first order.
Free shipping and 100% satisfaction guarantee.
And you can also hit the nay.
Smoke weed.
All right, back to Anthony Padilla will now turn back into a human man.
Ready? So
Right.
how have you suffered, Anthony?
Yeah, connect with me now.
Night terror. Oh, when I was having the night terrors, I would scream the word penis sometimes.
And then you made sure the teacher didn't hear it.
and my mom, I remember I would see the look on her face and I'd be observing. You remember, like I wasn't in control. I was observing the look on my mom's face of like, whoa. Like,
And then she screamed it louder because she's not gonna lose.
She got a cigarette. She's like, this Smosh shit gotta end. It's frying his dumb little brain.
but I think that was terrifying for me, much like large numbers.
Yeah.
Saying inappropriate things in front of my mom. And my grandma was there one time. Absolutely horrifying for a 9-year-old to say the word penis in front of his grandma.
Yeah.
Not quite a night terror, but I had a problem for like a bunch of years where when I was trying to fall asleep, well, one, I developed a fear of falling asleep for a long time. Where the moment I realized I was about to, I just wake up. And I would just do
Yeah.
that all night. Where I'd be like, because it's like kind of a fear of anesthetic where like you know you're about to go under. That's scary.
Oh.
And that would happen a lot. And then that developed into this weird thing.
Sorry. I'm trying to change.
Good nurturing.
yeah. He's
Anyway.
feeling so nurtured right now. So you would be awake. You would
end my
get
shit. So the only way I can describe this part is like imagine like in like Photoshop or like photo editing apps the clarity like slider.
Yeah.
So you drag it all the way up and everything gets really textured and weird. And you drag it all the way down and everything gets really smooth and weird. I would picture people and then their skin would go back and forth between like really textured and really smooth over and over and over again until I got really dizzy. I got vertigo.
Whoa.
And then I would wake. The only way to stop it was to open my eyes and to not be seeing that in my brain anymore. And that happened for like 6 years.
That is such a strange
Where it would just stop
thought.
me from sleeping because I would just get dizzy thinking about that over and over again.
Do you think Xbox 360 did this to you guys?
Did you play Xbox 360?
I did, but that was I was 9 before Xbox 360 was out. Just gonna not to age myself here.
Oh my
Yeah.
god! Back when it was a black and white console.
It feels so good
Run
to
by a
know
hamster
you're
on a
old
wheel.
guy.
Black and
hey,
red.
Let's talk about some old shit, bro. What did
Oh,
you do?
yeah.
What did you do back in the 90s?
Back in the 90s, I played lots of Game Boy, lots of Pokemon.
Right.
Got scared of saying the word penis in front of my grandma.
What was your favorite Pokemon?
Zapdos.
Oh, okay.
Ooh,
Yeah.
The legendary
Freak.
bird.
I'm a little freak sometimes.
Whoa.
Yeah. I know.
I'm chubbed up a little bit. I'm not gonna lie.
What was your favorite like movie as a kid?
Home Alone, hands down.
Yeah?
Home Alone 1 and 2. I've probably seen each like
Is that the
45
DT
times.
one?
2 is the DT one.
What's DT? Oh, down. What?
Donald Trump.
Oh,
one?
yeah, it's true. Yeah, which was edited out of some versions played on TV recently.
Really?
That's so funny.
Yeah.
Because
Let,
it's just
let
like,
us look our
How
history in
much?
the face.
How much is he in it?
He's like a cameo.
It's like one
Oh.
quick scene. It's so bizarre.
Yeah, he shows
he
Macaulay Culkin.
replaces Macaulay Culkin for the whole movie.
It's integral to the movie.
I'm alone.
This is actually beautiful. I have like the opposite experience where it's like growing up, when I was like 9, 10, I wanted to be like a YouTuber. It's like all I wanted to be.
Yeah.
And it's not what I do now, but I remember like my first things that I saw that I was like, I want to make videos was just Smosh videos.
Really?
And I was like, it was like the thing that made me ask my parents for Final Cut Pro.
Oh, shit.
And like the first thing that I was trying to emulate online was like making Smosh videos.
Oh, shit. You and Jake
And-
Paul.
We're the same in pretty much every way. And I remember I was thinking about it a lot because I knew you were coming on. I'm like, oh, I want to dig deep and try to find any of the videos I made. I couldn't find any.
Oh, man, that would have been sick.
Because I definitely like remade a bunch of like the original first things you guys uploaded.
Remade them.
And one thing that I didn't find but I remembered was the first online contest I ever entered was the Boxman win a stunt box dance competition.
Yes, the
And
Boxman dance competition.
I was 12.
Holy shit. I've probably seen your videos. We watched every single submission, and there were like 1,000
So
of
like
them.
14 years ago,
Oh my
I
God.
submitted a video to Smosh.com and lost to like the worst videos ever posted to the internet. I was like, I remember just feeling crushed. I was like, I am nothing.
Wait, describe your video. There's like a 5% chance I'll remember
I'm
it.
in my bedroom at the time, which is all of them, and my bedroom at the time was like this mirror in the back and blue walls, and I had a drum kit in the middle of the room, and it was just me and one of my friends from school, and we were just like doing the dance. That's really all it was.
Don't remember the drum kit.
And
or the blue wall.
I remember because like a few years later, I entered a Taking Back Sunday drum video contest,
nice.
and to win a drum kit.
Yeah.
Holy shit, I'm learning. You suffered too.
And I also lost that. And that's when I learned I can't succeed in life.
Those two,
Yeah.
the two evidences.
But I went in like this opposite direction where it was like I just wanted to be a YouTuber, and that's why I started editing videos like really, really young, like 9, 10 years old.
Yeah.
And then like I sort of turned into wanting to become a filmmaker and watching movies later in life.
He watched Birdman on a plane, and then he liked movies.
He thinks that's what happened.
What
It's funny
happened.
for him.
I like the way you break down your friend's movie insight.
Yeah, it's the first movie they ever liked. Social Network, Birdman, Spirited Away.
I love you, man.
But yeah, I just worked in the opposite direction where it's like I feel like most people, it's like like who become YouTubers. It's like I went to film school and I wasn't really what I wanted to do, and I realized I can make a career online. And it's like I kind of went the opposite.
But
way.
you realized that you liked making.
Yeah, I was just remaking like Food Battle and like Ryan Higa videos and stuff, and I was like, oh, I don't actually want to do this. Yeah, but there's something here that I really like.
Right. God, I miss those days so much. Just the simplicity of like pick up a camera. It's almost like filmmaking for kids. Is kind of what it was at the time.
It's all the same shit. It's all the same like techniques. It's just like you just crank them really high and ADHD them really hard.
Yeah. Which now compared to Mr. Beast videos seems slow paced in a weird way.
Oh, 100%.
Like I thought that was so fast paced back then.
And your action is, right? Like you as a person, you're like hyperactive, but there's like no cuts.
Right. Yeah. Well, there was far less cuts.
Yeah.
I do like hearing about how because Nick did a lot of COD stuff, when you were growing up, and I'd ask him, I'd be like, okay, what makes like why do all these videos like look the same? And there's like this historical context of like everyone only had access to the same pirated software.
Yes.
Everyone had the same stolen plugins that were easy to download. Everyone had the same 5 tutorials that they watched.
Action effects.
So it created like fucking Andrew
essentials.
Kramer, Video Copilot, like all of these like things. Like everyone is using like Sony Vegas at the time and Premiere and learning all the same stuff. So this like huge wave of like online video game editors who like all look the exact same, and YouTubers who are all copying like I'm thinking I don't know like fucking like I think Mika Kitty was like one of the people back then who was like hard jump cuts, and now she's like a musician. Like all these people who have like kind of set these tones for like what like the jump cutty vlog style is.
Really established that.
Oh yeah.
He was like literally like I'm gonna say a word here. Okay, now I'm gonna say a word over here.
Yeah.
He still does it now.
And it created this wave of like a lot of people who are doing things but they don't even know why.
Yeah. It was like this
and
is
maybe
just the way
it's
it
working,
is.
but they don't really have a good idea of what they're doing and why it's working.
Yeah, and it was really weird that time of the internet. It really was the Wild West, where it's like you get to invent everything on the spot. Like for the styles, there were no established styles. You were making them up, and that's kind of what I miss about that time period. It was like this hasn't been done before.
Do you think like now when people get into it, or like anybody getting into any hobby really would look to like people who are at the top or the most successful? Like he's talking about watching Smosh at the time and like trying to emulate or model that, right? But you were kind of number one from the jump in a lot of ways, and you're like ahead of everybody to begin with. So how do you guys like how did you guys look to people who are smaller than you to like try and craft your style, or is like everything just like you and Ian coming up with it in a room and then eventually like other people getting involved?
It was a little bit of both. We were inspired by animations on Newgrounds. I tried to be like a Flash animator for a while before I started doing
Flash was
YouTube
I tried
stuff.
to learn Flash when I was probably like the same age, and I was like, fuck this.
The pipeline is you either start with Flash or you start with stop motion, and then you end up making regular videos because that's too hard.
I did some stop motion in like high school, and then it was like Flash animation. So fucking hard. I spent like 6 months making a 7-minute video.
I'm gonna put time into this shit.
Yeah.
Like you needed to know like calculus to move a guy like this. I was like, fuck this, bro.
But then it's like I borrowed my dad's webcam, and it was like, oh shit, we can just make the thing on the spot.
Yeah.
You know? And it was pretty wild though, because there were not really tutorials for most things then. It was like just figure it out. It was like an old video game. It was like, no, you can't. There's no guide. You can't look at a YouTube video walkthrough. You just figure it out.
Dark Souls. It's like Dark Souls.
Like Dark Souls, yeah.
Okay, you're a YouTube historian in some ways.
Oh yeah. Mm-hmm.
Who made YouTube voice?
What's YouTube voice? I mean, I know what it is, but I'd like to hear you say it.
Oh shit, Slime, you do your YouTube voice.
No, do your. He's
No. He's revving up like a fucking. He's revving up like a lawnmower right now.
Yeah, Ludwig. I always make fun of him because he doesn't do it anymore. I think because I roasted him out of it. But he'll be like, so the other day, I went over to and I skydived. Tommy in it shows up, and it's like this fucking sheen, this waxy sheen. You're like a mannequin. What the fuck?
What the heck?
Come on, you like Mogul Mail, man.
Mogul Mail was great.
Mogul Mail, yeah, you toned it down.
I think it's like high energy, in your face. Like, today we are going to try out 5 of the hottest chicken wings on earth.
That sounds like you're imitating Mr. Beast right there.
I think he bit it from someone, because I think Mr. Beast was an absolute sponge until he hit success and just absorbed what other people were doing.
Yeah.
So
I feel like it's Phil DeFranco. I think about it.
A little. It was a lot of the internet. I still feel like I fall into it a little bit. It's very hard for me to
Ray William
get out of
Johnson.
it. It was before that, dude. It was like his ancient YouTube times. I don't know. For some reason, it was like, I think everyone was just awkward in front of the camera and was like, I need to put on a YouTube persona. I need to be what people want me to be.
To me, it's like making excitement out of things that are more mundane. Like, you haven't got anything exciting yet, but you don't want the first 10 seconds to feel unexciting. So you're like injecting that excitement, like nothing's happened yet, but I'm pumped and you're pumped and we're pumped together.
I think it needed to be inserted into that era because it was before a lot of people had like really figured out how to, like, what they were doing. Like, so many people were just like, I'm going to be a vlogger and I'm just going to like showcase my life. So everything needs to be exciting all the time. So I need to talk like this is exciting all the time. Yeah. And it's like, today we're going to the fucking grocery store and like,
it happened in Call of Duty
nonstop
too.
pace. Yeah.
What's up, gamers? Welcome back to High Rise.
That sounds like a radio voice a little bit.
Yeah, it might be an emulation.
I look back at a lot of my old videos where I'm supposed to be off the cuff, and even then, it was kind of like I had a gun to my head. I was like, hey, so this is this thing. And it was like big facial expressions and big like. It felt like I needed to like talk with my body. I didn't know what to do with myself almost.
Yeah, and do you know how to pull shit up and play it?
I think there's a thumbs up. Yeah, we got a thumbs up.
Okay, I'm gonna send you some stuff.
I have a random question while you're pulling that up. Very extremely random. Were you at YouTube Live
in 2007? Yeah, I met Bo Burnham there.
What was that like? Because I remember watching YouTube Live, and I'm like fucking a kid. I'm so young. I can't remember. I'm like 11 or something. And I remember just being like, this is everything. This is the coolest thing ever. But I didn't go. I just watched it online and I was just like, everyone I like is here. This is crazy.
It was very cool, but also strange because it was the first time that I saw mainstream media meshing with YouTube. Like they had Katy Perry as like the headliner. They had Freddie Wong doing Guitar Hero in like a weird little cubby and like a
Dax Flame was there.
Dax Flame
Everyone
was there.
like, is he fucking a character? Is he
real? It was wild because it was the first time that I was treated like I myself was a mainstream celebrity in a weird way.
Yeah, you're the guy there. You're like you're
right.
Because it's funny
What
because
the Buck was there.
even today,
that's exactly who I was trying to remember. I've sat
Michael
here
Buckley.
in my own brain for the past 20 seconds trying to think of who that guy was. And I was like, I was thinking about What the Buck because I was like, he's the dude who was at all those events for so long. But every time I looked at his channel, his view, like he had nobody watching him. I didn't understand it because he was always at like the forefront of YouTube Live.
Conversation on our pod, or on his podcast.
Really?
About What the Buck.
Except he had What the Buck at just right there, ready to say the words.
When does yours come out?
Think about it. About 2 weeks.
Yes.
Yeah. When is this coming out?
Thursday.
You're releasing this first, you fuckers!
Yeah, so why don't you just talk about everything you guys talk about?
Let's just go through it.
My dad died when I was 10.
Yeah, we get into some deep shit.
do you have live parents?
What?
Are both your parents alive?
Oh, I thought you said, do you have live parents after
I did
hearing
say that.
YouTube Live? Yes. They do live content. No. Yeah, both my parents
Do you
are
love
alive.
them?
Yes! Me and you, brother.
What? Are we the only ones that have
literally.
both parents that are alive?
Yes.
Dead mom, dead dad, dead both parents. I win. I'm a winner.
and you say that with a smile on your face. Does that mean that you have processed it or that you have not processed it? It means one of the two.
What a great question. You know what? Kinda.
Which one?
Well, I don't know.
He has not. He has not. He has
You
absolutely
want to
not.
process it now? We give you some,
Yeah, let's process
we
your
give you some
trauma.
ketamine, you just fucking fall
And
in a
I just start
K-hole.
crying. You love your parents? Where are you from? Also,
I'm from Northern California, and yes, I love my parents.
Oh, that's great.
Yeah, wait, why do you want to know if I love my parents? Do you want to know if you should talk shit about them in front of me?
No. Actually, not. I think I asked that question to a lot of people because I think it helps me kind of like craft a lot about them, right? Because like sometimes you say, yeah, I love my parents, but it comes with like a great pain to say it, right? It's like, yeah.
Or an obligation
It's
to
got
say it.
yeah.
it's
to
got
the
a few
family.
asterisks.
Or it's like, yeah, I fucking do. And it's like, okay, that's hype. So this means this person was like essentially supported in a lot of ways. And I
Right.
think
Well,
that's
my
cool.
parents broke up when I was 2, so I got to know them each individually. I have very few memories of them together.
2 Christmases.
I had 2 Christmases.
Damn, it took
where
2 years of you, and they were like
2 years. Yeah.
No shot.
And then I was like, it's because of me, isn't it? They're like, yep. No, but yeah, I didn't get to know them together as a couple. I got to know them individually, and they became friends with my dad. And my mom has agoraphobia, so I kind of, I felt like I had to nurture her while she nurtured me in a weird way. So that developed a lot of shit that I'm unpacking in trauma now.
Okay, cool.
But I've recently really reconnected with my parents, and I feel like I can be completely honest and vulnerable with them in a way that I hadn't before. And actually, my grandma, my dad's mom, just passed, and we went to the funeral, and it was open casket. It was the first time that I saw my dad just like break down into tears.
Isn't that
and it was
wild?
like,
Yeah.
it was like, and he even was like, I know I've never cried in front of you. I was like, Dad, like, which is just so weird to say, to like comfort him, because I'd never been the one to comfort him. But I was like, the strongest thing you can do is to be vulnerable. Like,
yeah, I think that
Dad school doesn't teach that part, and they miss it.
For one, if I ever have a kid, I will never cry in front of that little motherfucker ever.
Okay, hold on.
I'll cry day one.
That was not his
No,
point.
that's what he's trying to say.
yeah, it fucked me up. I'm like, damn, my dad's a pussy now.
But number 2,
Our relationship's fractured.
My dad was Andy's. He can't fucking kickflip. Loser.
I have a question. Based on the 45 minutes you've spent with us, who do you think is the most damaged of the 4 of us?
No. You're getting to the second point. I have 2 points. The other is that you reach an age where you become friends with your parents.
Yeah,
Which is
and
like-
you realize that they are just like,
You're an adult now, and so are they.
I feel
And
like
they're just like
you either
older
become
adults.
friends or peers
Sure.
when you become an adult.
But it's like, I guess you have the opportunity to become friends with your parents, because
Yeah.
they no longer have to take your poop out of your butt, right? They're just like,
Yeah.
and it takes
yeah.
the first 25 years.
and they were you're like, take it out of my butt.
Mom!
Take it. Just pulling it out like a sausage.
I can't wait till you're off my fucking insurance.
like handkerchiefs.
When you're the day you turn 18, you're out of here. I'm only doing this for 18 years.
On the subject of crack, because
That's not the subject.
it is the subject, but I didn't explain
Now
why.
I know why this podcast just goes everywhere.
No,
We
your
got
mom
slime
had
in the room.
agoraphobia. My mom, she's free-based cocaine sometimes.
Right, almost
She
the
was,
same thing.
She was great. Almost the same thing.
Yes.
You don't go anywhere, that's
Right,
for sure.
right.
Yeah, my mom likes country music.
Me and our friend Kalen from Australia came in. He stayed with me for a couple days, and we have this like competition with each other where it's like we really wanted to smoke crack. Ironically, I've been sober for 8 years, so it's like I'm not like a drug guy anymore or anything like that. But we were like it was this game of
But
chicken.
sober, not from crack, just sober
Well, I'm not
in
gonna
general.
keep doing it. But
Right.
it was like this game of chicken.
No,
where
what
we're
I mean
like,
is, you said I've been sober for 8 years, as if you were doing crack before.
yeah,
That's what I gather.
And
I gather that
now
you're-
you're like about to relapse, and you're
yeah,
confessing
yeah.
that.
Like, what do
not
they
the
call them?
case.
Crackheads? I assume that you were one of that type
No.
variety.
It was pills.
It's
But
egghead.
here's the thing. So we were like, basically, I made this tweet that was like, I would smoke crack in front of my friends for the meme, right? And then he was like, and he's like, I'm the same. We're the same. I would do that
For
too.
the meme.
And I was like, I bet you would. And he's like, oh, I fucking would. And so they committed this game of chicken. He's
And
like,
then
Yeah.
they didn't.
he's like, next time I come to see you, we're gonna smoke crack. I'm like, okay. I don't know how to get crack. Right.
Right.
And our plug. We didn't have a plug.
So if you know anyone who can sell us Minecraft in a video game crack,
But we landed on this idea instead of doing it, because we would instead get cocaine and then cook it for fun. And we'd like wear chef's hat and
For
stuff.
the meme.
For the meme.
Yeah.
And if we wanted to smoke it, we would smoke it. And that's what I did this week.
Patreon goal to cook
You
and
have to
to
weigh
do
out.
crack.
This week was just me like trying to harness this Australian guy who is just he's the kind of guy who was like, hey, you want to? He was trying to convince Nick to squirt a lemon in his eye because we were
He
doing
calls
it
it.
at
He
my
calls
house.
it the doctor's medicine.
Yeah,
Oh, yeah?
doctor's medicine.
Is that for the meme as well, or is that just for the?
That's for the
health
meme, but
benefits?
Australians, I think, chop up everything they do to the meme, even though
Yeah.
I think a lot of them have rampant drug issues. But it's like, yeah, doing cat for the meme. It's
Well,
like, it doesn't count. It
sure.
doesn't count.
If you put like 2 American cavemen in a cave with no windows, they just like make government. But like Australian cavemen, they like figure out how to play rock soccer, and that's like the core difference. And I feel like all these things just come from the Australian intuition to create game out of nothing.
Yeah, competition. Mostly competition that like harms you. So he'd be like, so we getting some limes? And I'm like, yeah, sure. So we get some limes from the liquor store, and then we start playing Melee, Super Smash Bros. Melee, and every time you lose, you have to get squirted in the eye.
Right.
Dude.
Yeah.
Do you play Smash?
I have,
Who do you
I
play?
was super into it. I got Brawl on opening night. Stayed
I'm
in
so
line
sorry.
at GameStop. Why? You didn't like Brawl?
No one liked
I
Brawl.
like
Brawl's
Brawl.
considered the
It was
bad
fun.
one for
It's
a lot of
arcadey.
people.
It's
What do you play in the
It's
game?
bad, but it's fun.
For competitive, no, I would never play. Who do I play? Let's see. The first Smash,
Puff.
I was Luigi main.
Oh, you're a
Oh,
little
in
bit of a
64?
weirdo.
I was a
guy.
little bit of a weirdo.
Weird guy.
Who the fuck did I play in?
Pitt.
Dude, I can't even remember who I played in
Why do you
Brawl.
say Pitt? 'Cause he looks like Pitt.
He looks like Pitt a bit.
I look like Pitt. I look like a Pitt.
You're tall.
guy?
You got like a big poofy
Do you
hair.
think that
Yeah.
you were the Mario or Luigi of Smosh?
Oh,
Wow.
damn.
Because this is a double question. Because you're also assigning
Mhm.
something to Ian.
I have
Right.
my answer.
That's kind of messed up. Well,
It is.
Hey, no, but you chose Luigi at one point in your life. So some people like Luigi.
I really
you know?
like Luigi.
I self-describe myself as Luigi.
Yeah.
It's the dumbest shit you ever said. In your life.
Dumbest shit you ever said in your life was, "Oh, I want to do crack as a meme." So I don't feel bad anymore.
Vote on your phones now. Down in the comments. Who is more dumb?
I always felt like a Mario.
Oh, I thought you had Mario energy.
I
Personally.
felt
think-
like I had Mario.
Do you think
energy.
Ian thinks he's Mario?
Yeah, and I think that at one point there was a little like unspoken. I don't know, something
Energy.
unspoken energy where we both felt like the Mario, and I think that any duo will deal with that at some point. But luckily, lately we've been kind of unpacking that, so I don't think that there's any issue
That's
with
great.
I'm sure you get this
Yeah.
question a lot, but like, what is the relationship between you guys now, and how was it? Because it's just as
Yeah.
someone who doesn't really know. Or
Right,
follow.
right, yeah. Well, let's see. So now we are super friendly, and we're really reconnecting, and just like. The other night we were hanging out and he was like, remember that one time when both of our girlfriends absolutely hated each other and then we didn't talk about it for 5 years? I was like, yeah, we should probably talk about that. Let's unpack that. Let's get
No.
into that. Which is really nice to be able to reconnect like that, because when we were growing up, we were so tight, like to the point where everything we would just talk like it was nothing and there was no issue. But I feel like doing Smosh, running a business together for 12 years. It was 12 years before I left. It's just like there was this unspoken kind of I think because we became friends like really tight, at least in high school, we kind of kept the same kind of relationship that two high school friends would have, where you don't talk about your shit, you hold that in, you just want to have fun, you just want to make memes, you just want to make each other laugh. So I feel like we just didn't grow together because we never hashed out anything.
Yeah.
Even though there weren't really big issues between us, there was just a lot of passiveness.
Yeah,
And
and
to
you're
the
probably
point-
making judgment calls based on passive feelings. Like,
Yeah.
I felt this way towards you for a few years, so I'm gonna do this thing.
Exactly.
And the other person feels a certain way about it, but also doesn't handle it. And you just
Exactly. And I
keep-
think that we both did that. And we both, I feel comfortable talking about this because we both said, yeah, wow, we were so passive aggressive.
Oh, no.
Let's never do that again. Let's talk through this stuff out. And it's just, we were doing this business thing for 12 years. And I think that both of us didn't want to jeopardize that, not realizing that in the end, actually not talking about your feelings and like interpersonal stuff would actually be one of the things that could be detrimental to running a business together. When I left Smosh, it wasn't because of that. It was because of a million other things with the company that bought us 5 years prior. But that was definitely one element that really sat with me. And I think that's one of the biggest things in my life that I really, really want, is to reconnect. And we've already started reconnecting in that way, but to reconnect to a point where it feels like when we used to hang out as kids. Because I whenever Ricky and I hang out, we still have that.
Mhm.
But there's just still, there's like so many years of things that just weren't talked about that I'm just super excited for us to like actually just hash it all out.
Yeah, it's good to have excitement for that kind of stuff.
Yeah.
I think a lot of people would be like, let's just leave it behind us. Let's just never talk about it. Let's start a new chapter. But it's like, you kind of have to.
I feel like unspoken things,
Yeah.
emotions that aren't expressed are never go away.
They go away.
Why?
that is actually the Ludwig subway order.
I'm glad someone can say it. That's not us.
No, for some people, they develop new systems.
They develop
so that the
systems
problem
so that
doesn't-
those things can't happen anymore.
Yeah, you just develop a system, and then the problem goes away.
Talk
Ludwig.
with me, Lud.
There are small issues that I have with some of these guys in this room with us who are listening,
Anthony?
and
Oh yeah, me? You talking about me?
I think he's fine.
and then I am someone who gets over things very quickly.
Yeah.
But I don't like when they happen again. And there's usually things that I can at first do to just like stop it from happening again.
Like say it out loud.
Say I love you?
No, to say it out loud. Just like the thing.
What kind of
One
thing?
way to stop it from happening
yeah,
twice would be
Can't
to
even
tell
think
them.
of an example
Just
right
like
now.
making like a system.
What are you talking about, this system?
Basically, Ludwig has this thing which we discovered accidentally where he will get upset, and then instead of expressing that he's upset or talking about the issue, which he's actually gotten better at, which I'm really proud of him, but he used to just say that I'll just make sure it doesn't happen again, like silently. And it's like, I'd rather know what happened.
This is what, here, I'm gonna make a fake example.
Yeah.
So
yeah.
Ludwig buys Cheerios every week at the grocery store, and
Yeah.
I eat them without asking him. Right? So instead of coming to me and saying, "Hey, can you stop eating my Cheerios?" or "Hey, do you want me to buy you some?" or something like that, he'll put them in a cage with a lock so that I can't eat them anymore. But now he knows I can't do it anymore. And so I'm like, wait, why are these caged?
But it's kind of a message to
and
you,
he's
too.
just like trying to open the cage.
Yeah, and I'm like, oh, okay, maybe he doesn't want me to do this anymore. And then I'll ask him, he's like, yeah, I've actually hated every time you've ever done it. And I'm like, why didn't you just tell me I would have stopped?
Yeah. How
Well, sometimes they don't stop.
long have you guys been
Nice
friends?
car parking job last night, you two. Really good.
Me?
Yeah,
Yes.
no, they're fuckers.
Yes.
How? I'm as far to the right as possible.
He's a
There's
fucker.
no
You
way
are
you're
not
putting
as
this
far
on
to
me.
the right as possible.
I'm
first of all.
behind.
Can I
You
add
also
something to
should
this?
go middle. You should go middle.
So I parked a little bit too far to the right. I didn't realize that when I did it. And then when he came home, he was like parking level hard mode. And I'm like, do you want me to move my car?
Unbelievable.
And he said, no, but I hate you.
He did say that.
Yeah.
He said that in the group chat.
I asked to solve it. I asked to help you.
Because you're solving it is
I'm
an
gonna show you-
inconvenience
I'm
in my
gonna
life
show
because I
you
have to
your
wait for
own
you to
photo.
move it.
I'll move your car
Then-
too.
Your own photo where I clearly am fully
Aiden,
behind your
you
car.
have to go middle there. You have to go
You
middle.
should be going middle.
I can't believe you didn't figure that one out.
No, because I'm gonna get boxed in because he doesn't
That's
park
so
properly.
selfish of you. You
What's up? Welcome
if
to the
you have
argument.
to
You're
get boxed
just
in.
saying that he has to get boxed in.
Yeah,
then.
you are literally saying that I am the one who deserves to get boxed in and you don't deserve to be boxed in, which I think you both believe genuinely.
I only don't do that if I have to leave in the morning.
Which
If I don't, I've been parking.
actually
hold on. I've been parking in the front and middle space like every day.
I
So,
handcrafted.
no, not me.
Handcrafted a solution to this, by the way. Handcrafted
What?
a self solution until you
How do you
moved-
handcraft some hoes
until
in
you-
your life?
Until you changed. Until he moved his scooter. I have a car that I'm trying to sell right now that sits at the front of the driveway. I started parking behind my own car so that nobody's ever inconvenienced by me,
Taking
and
up
I'm
two
never
cars in the driveway,
inconvenienced
that's an inconvenience by
somebody
default.
else.
Amen.
I started parking in a space
And
that I
then
could always leave.
And then you moved your scooter into the spot where I park my car, so that doesn't
so my
work.
scooter can't sit there
Do you want me to be
anymore.
the mediator here? Because I feel like we need to hash this out.
I don't think you need to mediate. I think you need to make a baseless and quick accusation of who is right now.
Yeah, show him the
Yes,
pictures,
please.
Smosh,
Show him the
Smosh,
picture.
please, we are
Show him
talking.
the picture.
Let's see it. Let's see it. Who is right between...
So on the left is Nick. He parked first. On the right is Aiden. I am driving, trying to
Yeah.
park, cannot squeeze in the middle.
Also, hold on. One more piece of information.
Okay.
I'm the black car on the right.
Okay.
I arrived before the silver car on the left.
Was there a car in front of the silver car there?
I already
Yes.
said I parked bad. I already admitted that.
Would there
When?
have been
I just
room
don't like being
before the
thrown in
silver
this
car was
when
there?
I think about where I park every single
if
time.
the silver car parked more to the left, there would have been room in the middle, or the silver car could have gone in the middle, and then I would have gone to the left.
And
Why
the-
does it look like the silver car is at fault?
Because it might be that's the case.
Thank you. I asked
Thank
him.
you,
I said I would
Smosh.
move it.
Base
He said
and
no.
true. And personally, I would love to move on.
Here's my question, Nick. When you parked, did you know that it would fuck me, or did you think, oh, he'll squeeze in there?
No, I didn't. I already said this. I thought I didn't know. I thought I had enough. I thought I gave everyone enough room. I even thought about it. Because
You thought about it?
Yes, because I've been pulling out of that space every day. Because I park in the front middle every day, and it's really tight. But every morning I make it out.
He
so I was
thought
like,
about
oh,
it and
it's
gave
fine.
effort, so that's good. He just fucked up and he's not good at
And
it.
then I said I would fix it. And he said, no, I hate you.
You have no greatness.
Yeah,
He
because
never
we
be
already
great.
parked and got out of the
You
car.
tell him
and
he'll
went,
never be great. You say I'll never be great, and it's over.
I'm down.
Also, just leave his keys on the hook. Also, just leave his keys on the hook.
No, hold
really
on.
happy-
No, hold
This
on.
is my
No.
trauma. My trauma is that he doesn't put his keys on the
We have
hook.
to stop. We have to stop.
Holy shit. I get my last word. I have had my spare on the thing for months.
And the spare doesn't work.
And I just learned, because I never use it, it's my spare key, that the spare doesn't work because Ludwig tried and it didn't work. So I didn't know that. So I thought my keys were on the thing the entire time.
This is so embarrassing.
I think this is a great example of what happens when you try to hold that shit in. It just comes
It
out.
did kind of explode.
You know what we do?
You know what I think is
do
know
a
what
side
I do
parking.
think is funny is I think we're like collectively pretty good at talking about like serious problems among each
Yeah.
other, like emotional things, for instance. I think
Right.
on the whole we're very good at like talking and like hashing those things out pretty quickly and giving each other like the time and the space to do that. But when it comes to stuff like parking cars, it's like wolves.
Yeah.
Or breakfast cereal.
I become truly petty at small things, and that's
Right.
one of our biggest fights was dishes.
About dishes.
Yeah.
About dishes.
I
When it
almost
comes-
swung.
When it
bro,
comes to real
and I
shit,
would've
we're actually
died. He would've killed
really
me.
effective communicators. When it's like, who left their shoes like in this place? I don't like them doing it. It's like, I want to kill you in irrationalness.
You mean
and-
amongst the 500 shoes that are downstairs?
Isn't it a
Ludwig's
lot?
450
There's
shoes.
a
yeah.
bit. There's a bit there.
And so when people break in, like you said, they think there's an army. So
This is good reasoning. This is good reasoning.
Yeah. I'm like,
We should
are
get
there,
outta here.
Are there thousands of people partying here somewhere?
maybe
in
that's
the
why the
house?
SWAT team comes in and they're like, back up, we need backup.
It looks like my family gets-togethers when there are literally 50 people there.
Yeah, Ludwig lives a life of truly disgusting excess. It's grotesque in a way.
It's not from, I think, excess spending though.
No, it is because you buy the things.
I don't.
No.
I really don't.
A lot of it's sent to him.
Think about it. I think about this a lot. Is like he has become unbelievably successful, and his dream car is something that cost a collective $7,000
When you include import.
including the import.
What's
for
his
this
dream
car?
car? Oh, can you pull it up, Yan? It's a Subaru Sambar.
Yeah.
It's from 1997. It's a mini cab. They were only really made in Japan for
Yeah.
like small businesses, and it's just like a truck, but a lot smaller, and it's very, very cute.
I think I said, did you post a picture with you with
yes,
it?
behind. Yeah, these are some pictures of it. It's actually
the 6 pictures.
It's literally the 6 pictures. I bought that one online,
Ooh.
Yeah.
so that's the one I have.
I mean, that's kind of dope, though. It feels like it's in Cruising World or something.
we were
Yeah.
cruising around the other day in it, and I was like, this is fun.
It's cute.
It drives
I had
on
a good time.
the you drive on the right side of it.
Yeah.
and it's a manual car.
Jesus,
Oh,
I'm
Jesus.
sorry.
I didn't
I'm
know
sorry.
she. Damn, wait,
The
what's
horse
she
is
doing
nice.
over there?
I,
You guys having some private time?
Wants top.
She's great.
Well, I want to go back a little bit.
that
I had
is my dream
I had
car.
a question I wanted to ask,
Yeah.
which was, I forgot. Give me a sec.
So I don't
I-
have
I-
access.
I-
I don't have a life of
I have a
access.
question I would love to ask.
literally do.
Unless you
I
remember
got
yours.
it. I remembered it.
And Nick also bought me 10 shoes for Christmas, which is part of why I have so many shoes.
Hold on. Okay, you're
So
making
there's
something a
Nick's
bad
fault.
thing.
No,
That's
I'm
Nick's
saying
fault.
that's
I bought
part
him
of-
every color of Croc. He
I
likes
like
Crocs.
the Crocs. I'm more so saying
You piece of shit
No, but all of
motherfucker.
those are upstairs. You only saw the downstairs.
Your garage is a goddamned war zone.
the garage is a lot of communal things.
No, it's not.
You think it's
No.
all my stuff?
A lot
It's
of it, a lot
it's
of
like
it.
80% of your stuff, which isn't the point.
That's
Sorry.
it. Let's
What was
move
your
on.
question?
Hi.
Let's move on.
Hi, my name's Nick. Nice to
Hi.
meet you, Smosh. So
That's me, Smosh.
To John Smosh.
a lot of
Yeah.
these damn YouTubers done felled off. Like all the classic ones. I feel like, the Shay Carls of the world, Carl's Trippies of the world.
What the
Oh.
buck?
What the buck?
Is that a reference?
just a jab.
How dare you? How dare you say what the buck fell off?
I literally had
Why?
a similar conversation to Anthony on his podcast, and I brought up what the buck for that reason.
I'm gonna ruin the
you
conversation.
made it a verb, though. You said, what the bucking it.
Why do you think?
That is toxic.
That's funny.
Do that.
Do you know who I want to be like one day?
Who's that?
Ryan Reynolds.
Oh, you want hair one day?
I want,
Boom.
Oh,
Yeah.
You want to be
Be
like
handsome.
you want to be like Van Wilder?
You want to be like Deadpool.
You want to pull Hugh
Except
Jackman
dead
out of
hair
retirement?
follicles. Pool.
This is where Slime will say his next bit. My Deadpool.
Mint Mobile offers premium wireless starting at just $15 a month.
What's the catch?
What's the
Oh,
catch?
the
Gotta be a
catch? You want to know the catch?
$15 is too little.
Call me Ryan Reynolds and I'll tell you the catch.
Why? What does this have to do with Ryan?
Because Ryan Reynolds is a spokesperson for Mint.
He owns Mint, dude.
Don't you know anything
You don't
about
know that?
shit?
You haven't seen the fucking commercials, bro.
What's the matter with
Ryan
that? I
owns
didn't know.
it.
I
Yeah,
didn't-
Ryan
Yeah, you
owns it.
didn't. Did you?
He owns Mint?
That's
Jesus.
the secret sauce is that Ryan owns Mint.
And the reason that it's able to be $15 a month only is because they're
Come on the
all
pod,
online.
Ryan.
So they have no retail stores. So they save that money and they give that savings to you.
And
All
Ryan did-
plans come with unlimited talk,
Come on the
text,
pod.
all that stuff. 5G, come on the pod, Ryan Reynolds.
Ryan Reynolds,
we
come
need
on the
you.
pod.
Pod,
Podcast.
you get really good self-service. Ryan Reynolds come on the pod, and then you also get $15 so Ryan Reynolds come on the pod. And if you want to go to mintmobile.com/theyard, what you'll get right now is you'll get what?
$15 a month is actually crazy.
I think we should get the Yardigans to really hone in and do this. Can you guys please go to twitter.com/Ryan Reynolds and get him to come on the pod?
Go to
And also go to-
twitter.com/Van City Reynolds, which is his thing, and can you say we all bought Mint because of the Yard, and we love their podcast.
Yeah, and if you come on, Ryan Reynolds, we will service you. You service all these good customers with wireless Mint Mobile, we'll service you.
For $15
we'll
a month, you can
service-
turn me over, Ryan
I'll
Reynolds.
die in your pool.
Service until you come.
Cut your wireless bill to $15 a month at mintmobile.com/theyard. Mintmobile.com/theyard. Aiden's gonna
Look,
service
think
Ryan.
about your phone bill. You spend that money. You could be literally not spending that
Ryan,
money.
if you come on the pod, you can talk about Canada with this guy.
Yeah.
The
Yeah.
service
Talk
has to
about
be shit.
mintmobile.com/theyard and Canada.
Yeah.
I don't believe it.
Well, believe this. Anthony Padilla will once again turn into a human man after being a horse.
mintmobile.com/theyard. Make your phone bill only $15 a month.
This is me going to Ryan Reynolds.
This is
All right,
that's the
now-
Ryan
to top
Reynolds turning over.
Now let's
Aiden.
bring Smosh back into the equation. Why do you think you have not fell off?
Um,
Why are you hot on the internet still?
I don't know.
As a man and a content maker.
Well, it depends if you compare me to, like, it depends what your comparison is. If you compare me to when I left Smosh, the channel had like 22 million subscribers. Like, it was insane how many views that channel was getting, like 100 million views a month or something.
Mm-hmm.
So then when I left, it felt like I fell off. It felt like I was irrelevant. People definitely told me many of those things. I don't know. I think for me, it's you mean that I have to be relevant to get invited on this podcast? Is that what you're saying?
Yeah,
Well,
that's
nice.
right. 100%.
Yeah, I just think it's cool that me and Aiden talked about this a lot. Like, I think it's cool that, like, you know, at one point you kind of revolutionized online content. I would say with Smosh, like a lot of stuff you were making set the tone for like a lot of creators.
I mean, it's dope that it inspired.
Yeah,
People like
you
you
know,
to just,
some
like-
of the greatest currents. You know, it's like I have a lot to show you now that I've.
Yeah,
you
I
know,
can learn from you.
but now it's like you're even doing things that I think have like been done before, right? Like kind of interview format. But
Yeah.
you're even doing that in a very new way, in a very
Right.
fresh way, in the way that you edit and your set and your thumbnail.
Yeah.
Like, everything is still very new and fresh. And I think, is that something that you've like thought a lot about, or is this kind of more innate to you, or?
I think it's my desire to constantly be challenged and push myself outside of my comfort zone.
Nice.
And you know, I take inspiration. Part of the charm of doing the show that I'm doing now. You know, I interview people that are all different types of identities, sexualities, who deal with all different types of struggles and disabilities, and that really gives me
and dream.
and dream all of those things wrapped up into one. And I feel like it constantly exposes me to new experiences and new people, which I think is really important. I think that's part of why I just feel young. Like I'm 35 fucking years old.
You're young passing.
I'm young passing. Tommy Innit nearly had a fucking conniption when he found out my age.
Seizing.
Yeah, you could realistically be his dad. I think
Yeah,
you
legit.
could nut before he was nut.
True.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Damn.
Amen. Bars,
Oh, I mean,
bars.
absolutely.
Yeah. I mean,
I don't need to get into
You don't
detail,
have to
but
talk about
for
or whatever.
sure.
I think you also have a huge willingness to learn, which a lot of people don't.
And I always find inspiration. I love finding inspiration from people. So, you know, interviewing all the different various types of people, that kind of teaches me about the humanity in the world. But then also when I interview creators like Mr. Lud over here, part of the process is the research of getting to know them and their content, why their content's successful. And then on the spot, I'm learning what makes their mind tick, what keeps them feeling fresh.
Mm-hmm.
And I love to absorb that. I feel like I'm a sponge with that type of stuff. So I was super inspired. I mean, first I went on, and this is just recently, like how I've been trying to challenge myself. I went on the Trash Taste podcast. And when I was on there, they were asking me questions about my format and the way that I conduct my interviews. And I told them all about how, like, I do all this research beforehand, and I talk to the guests beforehand for like an hour, and I get to know them, and then I craft my questions, and
That's
I
awesome.
take notes, and I reverse engineer questions so that and then I was like, what's your process? They're like, you're looking at it. And I didn't know how that would play out, but the environment was so nice. It was like this one. It felt like it was really off the cuff. And then when I was watching the episode, I was like, holy shit, it's so obvious, but it's really nice to just have a format where you can just kind of sit and watch through a conversation being had, and these talking points that I would normally be like, okay, now I'm going to ask a question to get to that talking point, just come up organically. And then I watched, and I was like, oh, well, it's three guys and then me. So of course it's like, I was coming up with excuses. I was like, it's a little bit harder for me doing a one-on-one than like three people who can always bounce off each other. Like you guys, you have a question, then you have a question, you hold on to your question, and there's never any like weird gap. And I was nervous about that. But then I watched Ludwig interview Susan, and I also interviewed Susan. It was remote, yours was in person. So obviously, like, immediately I had a better tone to it. But I was like, holy shit, this guy did what I'm doing 10 times better than I did it. And this is my full-time job. So I'm always finding inspiration. And I'm like, you know, in the interview, aside from praising you nonstop and then making fun of your height in order just to make sure that we,
Kept me
just to
humble.
level you out.
Yes, sir.
Even though you try to tell me you're the same height as me, but then I stand up and somehow I'm an inch taller than you.
Why is that?
We're not going to get
6'3"
into
according to the
that.
DMV. He had tall shoes. He had tall shoes on the day.
We're not going to get into
It
that.
actually did suck. He was like, I'm 5'11", I'm 5'11", I'm 5'11". I'm like, fuck, stop saying that out loud. Just stop. You're taller than me. You can't say that to me.
So today I went barefoot just so that we could stand next to each other and see once and for all.
Oh
Can't stand
shit!
today. I can't stand today.
Oh, you're at no stand day. It's no stand day.
People are gonna measure the length from like your calf to your foot to your hip. Anyway, and I really wanted to break down how he got so fucking good at going off the cuff and interviewing. Like, it didn't feel like you were looking at your note card. It didn't feel like you were trying to find the question that you had pre-planned or anything.
Mm-hmm.
And I found that super inspiring. I was like, I want to do a little bit more of that. So
Journalism degree.
it's constantly, I think that probably helps, but also live streaming is a constant, it's constant practice. You've integrated it into your work, practicing the ability to improvise and be confident and speak to people and just speak off the cuff in a way that I've never done. I come from old YouTube where it was like, I told you we did like 35 takes of like saying the word bitch and like whatever was the funniest way would make it in. And it was like, everything was so perfect to the point where it was like, it felt like it was really like loose and off the cuff, but it was perfectly crafted to feel that way.
Yeah.
When I feel like, like you were saying, you have an hour of content when you're live and it's an hour of content when you push it live. Me, when I'm doing my interviews, sometimes I'll spend 2 hours interviewing someone. I'll cut it down to like 25 minutes because I'm like,
Wow.
that stuff just wasn't that good. I didn't feel like it was
You got it. You 100%. I think.
yeah,
I gotta
and
think that way.
then but I took a different approach after watching enough of your content. I think that our interview is going to be really interesting because I even had some people behind the scenes tell me they're like, 45 minutes in, you had a 20-minute video already, because I just went. It was like I had all the questions that I knew I wanted to talk about, but I only referred to them like 4 times. I just went through and we just naturally, organically came up with, like, talked about all the things in a very natural way that I think will be a lot lot
Just two
interesting.
goats, man.
It's
Just two goats.
the
Easy, baby.
with the
That's
same
easy.
height.
Listen,
I tried to
one
give
goat,
a second.
one goat.
Yeah.
listen.
Half a goat.
Ludwig is not naturally good at anything.
What?
And
Speak to that.
and
What?
that is
Are
that,
you not naturally
that
good?
is the
you
source of
speak to
his
that?
power.
What?
Because all he does is grind and work hard, and I hate giving him that.
But
What are you
grind-
naturally good at? Don't give me that face.
Hairline.
Oh shit!
This is what he does. It's all he has.
But it's true.
Yeah, but you're just naturally what? Hot? Okay, good job.
You asked me.
See, I'm
Well,
right. Anyway,
I do think that when I first met Slime, he was a huge pompous doucher
Yeah.
about if I was funny enough, and he would.
Oh, he got. Oh, yeah, that's what I was going to say. You said live streaming. He
Yeah.
was so not funny, and then he started live streaming full time. He got way funnier.
Wait,
in the.
we already
in
said this on the
in
pod before,
pocket.
but I want you to have some context.
Sure.
We've been friends a very long time, and
Yeah.
way back when, Slime used to have Ludwig's tweet notifications on. So whenever Ludwig made a tweet, Slime's phone got a notification with the tweet,
Yeah.
and he would text him that it wasn't a funny tweet.
Or if it was.
This was
funny,
not asked for.
Yeah.
This was just something that he took under his own volition to do.
It is my value system. Is
Also not
insanely-
appreciated.
Yeah.
I was gonna say, did it make you better?
It wasn't a nice thing to do.
Fracture of
It
friendship.
wasn't a nice thing to do. My value system is so fucking lopsided that if something's funny, it's just like, and if it's not, I'm like, and that's it. Right?
Yeah. There's no in between. There's no
Yeah.
nuance to funniness with you.
Well, no, there is. It's just more like that. If something is bad at being funny, I have a hard time saying, oh, that's okay. You know what I mean?
And if something is good at being funny, he has a really easy time letting go of anything else. So like putting a hole in the wall, if it's funny enough, it's like, I don't care.
If it's for the meme.
Yeah, or we'll fix it. You know,
or
whatever.
doing
Yeah.
crack.
But
Or
sorry,
if doing crack is funny enough.
it wasn't nice, and I've long been like, you know what, that wasn't right. But yeah, Ludwig got funnier.
But I did get a lot funnier from live streaming for sure.
It's from the practice, right? Is
Yeah.
it when you first started live streaming, were you having those thoughts in your head of like, oh, I might say something that's not funny or something that makes me look stupid or something that, like, did any of those thoughts go through your head? Like
it was low enough stakes because you have 5 to 10 viewers that I did it, like, it's whatever. Like
Yeah.
who the people I'm failing to entertain is like
Right.
Ben, my friend from college, and that's okay.
Yeah.
As opposed to like I had 1,000 viewers and I was failing to entertain them, which
Right.
you would have the pressure to do if you were going live now.
Exactly.
It's also like, to me, it's kind of like a similarity between like theater and film, where it's like you're like
Yeah.
live editing yourself on a stage,
Right.
where it's like you don't have anything cutting or hiding or anything.
Yeah.
So you have immediate feedback too.
True,
Where you
the
know how
laughter
people
helps.
feel about anything you say, so you kind of like over time build, and especially for someone like him, who I think is more performative in nature all the time.
Yeah.
Where it's like you say something and in chat kind of like says cringe or whatever, and you're like, oh,
Yeah.
that doesn't work, and you do another thing and they're like fucking pog, and you're like, oh my god, that works,
Right.
and you develop like what you think a big quantity of people who watch you like immediately.
Right.
And I think with videos that you make on YouTube, it's like what, like you release one every few weeks.
Yeah.
You get feedback in such more sparse hits, and
After the fact.
also on the same content. So you're really only defining like a bit about who you're playing in that moment for that show
Yeah.
and the show itself. Whereas like he has a new idea every stream. He's getting
Yeah.
feedback in so many different ways, so much,
Yeah.
which I think also leads a lot of streamers that I've met down this weird path of like their dopamine receptors are fucked.
Streaming
Because-
is an extremely addictive thing. That's why he loves it so much. Oh, sorry. He was on his
I
phone.
do love streaming. I think
Speaking
streaming.
of dopamine receptors,
Sorry, he's
He's getting some dopamine
the
right now.
TikTok was fire right
Dude,
now.
he's funny me. I think that for live streaming as a whole, I've been obsessed with the idea, and these guys know, of one take jaking,
Yeah.
Yeah.
which is the idea of
Never a
doing
two-take,
something
Tony.
amazing on your first try. Whether it's like a shot for like a sketch we're doing, or
Yeah.
a video that I'm making, or just like doing really well on a live stream, like a show setting,
Yeah.
which you have to do a one take Jake.
For sure.
I love flexing that more than anything else. I think I flex that the most.
And have you always been like that? Have you always wanted to be the one take Jake?
Yeah.
Why?
I
Do you know why?
I think it's I think it connects really well with live stream because you have to one take Jake.
Yeah.
And then I think it's like when we used to do a lot of shoots, a lot more with like Beyond the Summit, and it would feel good if ever like production's around. I'm like, I'll one take it. Half jokingly, but also like, it's kind of sick.
It's
Yeah.
super impressive.
We shot this commercial and I had this whole thing written out, and it was like I'm the same way you described when you're saying bitch, like 35 times, like because you can search for the perfect delivery, like you can get there and get really granular.
Yeah.
And we there was a whole day of like shooting and like doing all these cuts, and then he's just like, let's just run it through once, and it was the last one, last of the day, because the sun was going down, and it was the one. And I was so fucking mad, but I was like, you know what? That's how it is sometimes.
I feel like sometimes getting like the take where it almost feels like there's the least stakes because you're like, I'm just gonna get it. Like, wait, are you talking about like final take of multiple?
Yeah, we
different
just
things?
instead of like cutting it up into different takes of the entire bit, he's just like, let's just run the whole thing through, and it was the one that we.
There is
used.
kind of a magic to that because there's that energy that just flows throughout the whole scene.
Yeah, and I've learned to like nurture that for him, where it's like, okay, how can I set him up to like one take something or flex that muscle, because he's good at it, but also because like I can see the magic that comes from that,
Right.
which is cool.
I think that there is like some kind of energy of knowing that you're going to like, this is it, that you can give it your all. And there isn't like, oh, well, I did it a little bit less because I want to see if I could do it right. That was kind of just a test. And then you're like going through multiple times. I feel like knowing that you're only going to say it once kind of helps you just like perfectly hone in on it.
Do I actually almost do every shoot the same? We do like one maybe like walkthrough, where it's like, hey, this is what we like kind of need to get done.
Yeah, let's go through our dialogue 20% speed, just make sure we all know it.
Then I'll do some that are like, I know none of this will make it in, but I'm trying to make everybody in the room laugh, and I'm gonna fuck it up horrendously.
Yeah.
But
I'm your little.
I do think that it drastically increases the vibes.
Vibes are good.
Vibes go up, and it's good when the vibes are up at a shoot because everyone's funnier and everyone's more comfortable.
I'm a big
But
vibes guy.
the annoying part about it, specifically with Ludwig, where Ludwig's like, I gotta be out by 2 today, and I'm like, I'm just finding this out. Yesterday's not an example. I'm just finding out about this. That's crazy. That sucks. And then we get in the shoot, and he's like, I'm like, all right, Ludwig, you have a serious line. It's this, and he goes like. I'm like, bro, just say it. Just say it. You get like 10 takes in a row, just trying to like make everyone laugh. And I'm like, you're the one who wants to leave. We don't have time. I will be here all day. You want to leave? Oh, dude, I fucking.
Nick turns into Donnie from Wild Thornberries.
And then after that, I'll go for the real one, and then usually that's set it up enough.
And I will say, like, to his credit, a lot of because we do shoot a lot of like sort of scripted stuff. most of what goes in is not the stuff we planned for.
Right.
Most of the time.
Yeah, and I've had to learn that too because I'm a writer, right? Like that's like I want to write things and I want them to be depicted as they are written.
Yes.
And like me having to understand that for one, that's not always going to happen. It'll come out better if it doesn't happen with this particular squad, and be okay with all that. That's like been my thing for 2 years.
You know, one thing that I was realizing with my interviews is that the stuff that I liked most, the stuff that would make it in, the stuff that would be like a long take that we would just let go, were the things that we weren't planning. You know, so seeing the way that you are on your, I mean, like, how much content do you release? I feel like there is more content that you release than I am humanly capable of consuming. You have this podcast, you have your live streams.
Just have a company with 15 people.
Yeah.
That's it. I mean, I have a company with 10, so maybe I could get there.
You
but
need to crack the whip is what you need.
It's about like I drop about a video a day across both channels.
Yes.
And then
wait, it's like one a day. Is that 2 a day or 1 a day?
No, 1 a day. It's like about 30 videos a month.
Okay.
Across Mogul Mail and the main channel, and then everything that I do is usually repackaged into other channels.
Yeah, the clips.
Like, TikTok guy, clip guy, VOD guy, and then it's the yard.
But in terms of unique content, 30 pieces of unique videos a month.
Yeah, it's like 30 to 35 with this.
I think it's just like Ludwig is
lot.
good at having ideas.
Yeah.
And he has he likes working. So like he'll take time out of his day to like do something that he wants to do. But he's also
Ludwig.
He's also surrounded by people who also really like working.
Yeah.
So like a lot, like if he comes to us and he's like, I have this good idea, it's this.
Yeah.
Now figure it out. Here's the date I want to do it.
Yeah.
We'll all just figure it out if we like it. I just do that shit. Like,
do you think I love working?
No.
What the hell?
Where do I stand?
You don't love working.
I love working.
Yo, what up,
What's
X?
up, dude? You want to come up?
There should be a pin on a sticky note in there. If you don't see it, come back.
Sorry, that's our groundhog.
Just have a voice coming out of the fire pit.
I thought it was
if XQC had come up here and seen his shadow,
1 second, I'm gonna make sure that he has that. Because there's a pin to the computer that Josh Man had and it was on a sticky note, but I hid it.
Oh, okay.
As a fun little quest.
No, I hid it because I was showing the whole room
Side quest.
and I didn't want to leak it because it had passwords too.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm just gonna message Josh Man if he's up.
Do you have like, I don't want to say like long term because you're old as hell, but
wow.
Damn.
Kidding.
Okay.
1 hour together all of a
I guess
sudden.
we're besties now. We're gonna roast each other.
Love your work. Do you have like something that you're always gearing towards making, or are you kind of making it now?
In terms of like long-term goals.
Yeah, like for me, like I want to work on feature-length films. Like eventually, that's what I'd like to just be doing, and maybe that'll change, or maybe like I'll do that and then I'll get bored of it.
Yeah.
But for now, that's what I'm kind of working towards.
Yeah.
Do you have something like that, or are you kind of just doing it?
I mean, I feel like I'm kind of winging it because I feel like you have to in order to allow yourself to pivot and shift around.
Especially for online content, yeah.
Yeah, I mean, I think it's really great to have long-term goals because then you can kind of envision that being your life and then you make decisions that align with that. You know, I think that's important to have a long-term goal in that way. But with the internet, it's extremely important to be malleable. And I feel like that's kind of why I've been able to continue doing this for so long. But, you know, I do have some long-term goals that I've set up.
What's your dream? What do you dream of?
I have a few different dreams. I would love to design clothing and to like release my own clothing brand. I'm self-plug here. I'm wearing one of the shirts from a new line that we're just gonna be releasing very, very soon.
Sick.
And I love like picking the fabrics and the way it's cut, and I hand measured like all the things and the way that the distressing would be put into the fabric and every single detail I picked, and I love it so much. I would love to have like an office where like I'm picking out all the swatches for the different types of clothing and I'm trying on the different things and putting together like inspiration boards and stuff. So that's just one thing. But for my main show, I kind of want to just see how much I can evolve the show. Because if you look back at the way that I spent a day with, which is the name of the interview series, it's entirely different. Like it started where I was interviewing flat earthers and I was like, look how fucking weird these people are.
Yeah.
And it was kind of like, let's kind of Dunk.
And now,
Yeah.
and now we're on to modern flat earthers, bisexuals. We have the recent episode.
Yeah, you guys really believe
Yeah.
anything. Don't
Yeah. I'm like, just wait till you go into space and you look back and you see that bisexuals are in fact not real. No, but
Yeah,
Hell
I
yeah.
think it's like a similar concept. To, I don't know if you ever watched Loft.
yeah.
This is exactly.
LAWF,
I thought a lot.
Loft.
He
Yeah.
had that show where he kind of like take like certain kind of perspective and interview
Yeah.
that person. And I think he's more of like an awkward character in his universe where he's just like he's kind of just weird and that kind of makes things awkward and that's like kind of what you're watching. Where for you, I think you're like hype, you're like super personable. But I think you
Yeah.
can like bring anyone to sort of a comfort zone with you and create this cool environment. And also like the production value is like way high.
Thank you. I mean, my goal is to, every time I go into one of these interviews, I want the audience to feel like they're a fly on the wall watching two friends catch up.
Mm-hmm.
And I think that environment is really welcoming and it allows people to feel comfortable speaking about things that they might not feel comfortable speaking about on their own platforms, or, if they're not a creator, just like they might be nervous about speaking about these things, but then they can show this in this comfortable environment to their friends and family. And then, I've had people tell me like, I can't wait to show this to my mom. Like I haven't been able to speak comfortably about this kind of thing before. And now that I have it on camera, I kind of have this thing preserved where I can just show people who don't understand the way that I am or this thing that I do. So I kind of want to see how far I can take this show and how much I could push myself outside of my comfort zone. What's up, Lud?
Yes, Ludwig.
I have an idea for you.
Yeah.
I spent a day with. Great. Love it. Next evolution.
Yeah.
I went on a date with.
I went on a date with. Ooh,
and
you know
then
what?
You
Mr.
go on
Beast.
like a date and it's like me and you and it's like today we're going rock climbing and then you ask the questions while doing activities and it's a physical icebreaker and you get a little more in depth.
Damn. Do I have to split the royalties on that with you?
No.
Your
Okay.
better idea. Love it. You're doing great work.
Okay.
Here's a better one, though.
I went on a
Okay.
date with, and it's just me,
What?
and we kiss and smooch.
Wow. And it's,
Better idea.
Okay, can
Yeah.
I chime in? Sorry for a moment.
Oh,
What
yeah.
what is episode 2?
Second base.
It's second base.
Right. So we go one base further.
Yeah.
What's the sixth episode?
We have a kid.
Oh.
And then it just becomes
and it's
the
called the rehearsal.
It's the Nathan, it's the Nathan Fielder.
And we're getting towards the more rocky side of our
His
relationship.
name's Adam. His name's Adam. He goes from
Right.
0 to 18.
You know, earlier you said the word cut, and I wanted to ask you something.
Did I? Was I talking about
Close.
penis? Oh, sorry.
No,
What?
you were talking
Oh, that's a
about
great addition. to what you're-
but hey, wait, while we're here,
Yeah.
we asked this to all of our guests that we've ever had, except Amaranth.
Oh, really?
So
I fucked up. Really?
are you not circumcised?
I am not. And I don't think I've ever said it before. I
Wow.
don't think I've ever said it on any platform before.
We stay.
Wait, why
winning.
are you guys
We
touching
stay
hands?
They're
winning.
both uncircumcised.
welcome.
Because
you're outnumbered.
you guys all have a weird looking
I
dude.
think
on
the
the team.
scoreboard is fucked against us.
Yeah.
We are losing hard.
Yeah, Mr.
It-
Beast didn't disclose, but he'd be 2
Oh,
points.
really?
The
You
only
didn't
one
wanna
who didn't
say?
disclose.
Yeah.
He's cut.
Well, we don't know, but
I know.
Born in North
You're like,
Carolina.
I'm seeing the outline.
They shoot it off with an AR-15.
That's the pole, like they're throwing the baby.
yeah, throw the baby. And you got a real good marksman up there.
That's the cut half, is the uncut half.
Yeah. So
I feel like it is an honor to not be
Yes.
circumcised.
you,
honestly,
yeah,
agree.
you would say that.
What, there are so many puns that you guys are throwing in here. But you don't have to. I mean, like I feel like one step of the process of anything going on with that area is skipped. You don't gotta, moisten it up.
Yeah.
You also don't gotta wash it. Apparently,
You do wash it.
We
You do
wash
gotta wash it
You
more
wash.
because it gets weird.
Yeah, and you can tie it up like a water balloon and inflate it and then fly up in the air.
Oh, true,
Yeah.
true.
Yeah, you
Okay,
can't do that.
you guys
Yeah.
are jealous. I was
You-
roasting this on. I was
You
with
hate that
Hassan.
you can't do that.
You don't put
I being
helium
real,
in
I
there.
am. I'm
No, you
jealous.
tie off the tip and then you pee in it, and then it looks like a water balloon.
And then you poke a hole in the side, it comes out.
Do you guys? Do you think that I'm cute?
Shut the fuck up.
Sometimes.
That's the worst question you've ever fucking
Sometimes.
asked.
I'll nod.
I forgot what I was gonna say.
When you
And then I had to pivot.
when you left Smosh to like
I love how that segue is
Yeah.
just randomly
When
in
you-
the
when
middle
you-
of the episode.
left
how it
Smosh, did you consider getting circumcised?
Oh, yeah. Okay. Yeah, I was like, I'm gonna
is
become a
Ian-
man
is
now.
Ian?
I don't.
Have you seen his meat and his veggie berries, his gentleman berries?
I haven't personally seen visibly with my own eyes. I've heard it described.
Wow, how have you never seen his penis
I know,
in
right?
all your years?
You know, it's so funny because Ian was on another podcast and they asked him that same question.
Really?
Yeah.
Who's biting our shit?
Biting us.
Someone's biting your
Biting
shit.
our shit.
Nah, it goes.
It just never happened. I think it's because we became friends in like 6th grade and then we became really close in high school. And it was like, that would be weird. I don't know.
I saw my friend's cocks in high school.
Yeah?
I mean, so
Up
did
close
I.
in person? How close? How close was the view?
How else are you gonna suck him?
Keep that keep the distance to myself. I saw everything.
Interesting. Wow. What a woolly world.
so many
as Yoshi would say.
goals.
I was at
Aspirations.
Hassan's like a couple days ago.
Yeah.
It was like Hassan, Carl, Will,
Yeah.
and X. After we did our podcast, Fear and another podcast I do.
Yeah.
Yeah, because he needs to do that one because we're starting the front yard
Such
pretty
a
soon.
piece of
So
shit. It makes me so mad.
Why am I a piece of shit?
Go ahead. No, explain your story.
And we started talking about same thing, cut uncut, and because I was roasting Hassan because he's a worse wikifeet rating than me. And then he started roasting me back about some shit, so I just started making fun of his penis relentlessly for like 10 minutes. He got really hurt by the end of it. I was like, you got your fucking gross cut-ass dick, no
He has a cut-
sensitivity.
he's cut?
Yeah, he's cut as hell.
Whoa.
Gross as
Yeah,
hell.
the no sensitivity thing. But it's weird because I feel like in high school, I was nervous about people finding out because I would overhear women, or I guess they were girls then. This is weird to say. So they were like, oh, it'd be weird if it was uncut. It looks like a pug, or like it looks like a hooded warrior, or like some weird shit.
It looks like a
I
genetically
didn't have a bad
fucked
experience
dog.
personally.
I had that once.
mine looks like an anteater.
It's because all the
I've
sensitivity
never
went
had
to
a
my heart.
bad.
All sensitivity
Oh,
went to
we're
my
having
wrist,
multiple
baby.
discussions over here.
I had a girl grab it and have a similar reaction, like
Yucky bears.
what, yucky bears.
Like it's squishy.
Yeah.
Wait, no, she said ew.
yeah.
Wait,
She's
have
like, that's not what cock's
Have you
supposed to be.
personally had a bad experience?
I've never had a bad experience.
Me
In fact, it's been girls saying that they like it more.
Yeah.
And I guess I'm like, I work
The
too
goat.
hard.
I like show up early all the time. It's like, it's like I care too much. That's the thing.
I like it more. I'll never go back.
I love that you never have to lube up. That's a
No, it's true. I used to see in like American Pie and shit, like there would be all these jokes about like lubing it up. I was like, why are they doing this?
Why are they doing that? Yeah.
I was like,
Thank you.
should
I
I
had the
be
same
doing?
experience growing up. Every pun that had to do with lotion, I never understood because I
yeah.
was like, why would you
I was like,
use
lotion?
Did you use lotion then after that and then realize that it was worse and you're like, I don't understand it?
I did
No.
try it. I did try it just to know. I was like, am I missing out? Is this
Yeah.
like?
What are they talking about?
No.
I was like, am I missing out? And it was not. It was a
It
worse
was
experience.
the worst experience
Yeah.
bar none.
Yeah, and it was like making sounds and stuff.
it was like messy.
not necessary.
It was messy, noisy.
Ironically, that's what good pussy sounds like.
Sounded like Daffy Duck walking around.
I was so
SpongeBob going to work.
disconnected. So disconnected from like what lubricant was for.
Yeah.
In high school, there was this thing called mock trial, or not mock trial.
Cock trial.
Teen court. Cock trial. Cock trial.
And it was ruthless.
Teen Court, which was like this program in Washington where people like they would have teenagers on juries for like juvenile offenders, particularly of like drug offenses. And
A terrible idea.
That's such a bad idea.
No, this is hype. Let them govern themselves.
Anyway, so it's a little Lord of the Fliesy for sure. One dude was the other thing besides drugs was shoplifting charges, and one of the people that we were on the jury for was somebody who shoplifted lube. In my head, because I didn't understand that lube was like commonly used for sex, I'm like, oh, he stole it from like an auto parts store. And
He
I
thought
went
he
through
took
the whole
5W30.
trial and like deliberation in the jury room with the other like high school students, with the guys that like, yeah, this guy just like really needed something for his car. So it's like, we gotta let him off light. Probably doesn't have a lot of money, you know? Not that it really changes the scenario, but I didn't realize until like 5 years later, I like put the dots together and I was like, oh, it was because that's for sex.
That's why they looked at me weird the whole
Yeah,
time.
yeah.
I was like, for when he's using it on his car.
Yeah, but
when he's
everybody
with his
else is
car.
a teenager in the room, right?
Yeah.
So they don't want to like explain the
Yeah,
function
true,
of lubricant to
true.
you. Like, no, he's comfortable to do
True.
that.
I want to end on one note, and this is something I want to talk about because I think we have to talk about it. Okay,
Okay.
Dweem. All right,
Dweem?
Dream.
Listen, Dweem.
Oh,
we're,
Dream.
We're old.
Yeah.
You're fucking old. I'm fucking old.
Yeah.
We're fucking boys.
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
We should be back.
To be clear, you are not the same. He's young passing and close as Dream.
Young passing is such a terrible thing to say.
Young passing is a legitimate thing.
Shut
I
up.
think it works.
You're close with Dream.
I get ID'd everywhere. What? Yeah, I don't know if I'm tight, but he and I, text message every once in a while.
You got the FaceTime.
Yeah, I did get a FaceTime.
That's great. Okay, so
I got a pre.
listen. You're closer to this whole idea that I sometimes don't watch content. I'll watch like history videos on YouTube. I'm a weird little guy.
Little critter guy.
But and so I look at this thing, the Minecraft, and I'm gonna be as careful as I can saying this. Hey, what's up, Minecraft community? Please don't. My parents are dead. Please don't send
This will
them
be cut on like
their social
don't
security
bring them back
numbers.
to kill them.
Yeah.
My parents are dead. You can't use their safety against me.
Yeah. But like Dream revealing his face was like this giant event, like actually such a huge fucking thing.
how many viewers was it? Like 1.3 million.
Over a million.
1.5 million live.
I broke my record for the most viewers I've ever had in a YouTube live stream watching it. And I did Mogul Money Live, which was a multi-$100,000 project that took months to create.
Yeah.
And I got 160,000 people who were like,
fucking
what's this white
poor
dude's face
2
look like?
RAM library computers all the kids are watching on that have 20 Chrome tabs with 80 streams open.
I wonder
Just
how many.
wheezing.
I wonder how many live viewers he actually had when you add up all of that.
I wanna know,
Oh,
yeah.
It was probably close to 2 mil. And then the video, I mean, it's amassed like probably 10 mil in less than 24 hours. It's like Blackpink
You know what's
numbers.
weird? I had a dream last night. That was not supposed to be a pun. I'm so sorry.
Sorry, it's just a common
but
noun.
I thought I remember thinking that it had 22 billion views when I woke up.
That'd be okay. Well,
Sounds about right,
that would
right?
be crazy.
Yeah.
Every human on earth is like, I gotta watch that again.
3 times.
Give him one more watch through.
But I couldn't help but think because it was such an enormous event, like everybody's talking about it, and this guy has 1.1 million people waiting for this video to drop, and I was like, damn, this is still a third of the Ibai boxing event,
Sure.
which
Some
was
people are goats.
which is insane.
Well,
Yeah.
okay. My question to the panel here is that like, what is the
Like a 7.5.
No way. By the way, not even close.
That was a meme, okay?
Not even close.
Really?
No, yours.
No, I was saying out
Dream.
of 10, like his looks, not my penis size. My penis
Oh.
size.
I was like, why are you seeing it? I was like, I've seen it. Why are you
I was
capping?
like, weird to be so upset about 7.5.
Because you're
I feel like such a
lying.
take.
Because you're lying.
No, I was.
Your dick is not that big.
I know
Do
that.
you understand that?
I'm saying from the angle of me rating him as 7.5.
It was like a Rorschach test. This is like
It's Dream's face. I just see Ludwig's penis. All right. So how does the Minecraft community or the Dream community, the Dweem community, all of it, how does it have such an active, rabid fan base? What happened along the way to have literally 2 million people have this much attention on it? And to a smaller extent, which is not small at all, like Tommy in it, right? He'll stream, get 150K viewers.
Yeah.
Fucking Schlatt's got Minecraft DNA, right? Like he'll get giant viewers. How did this all get so big? Does anyone know the answer?
Good question. I mean, I think that a lot of it was pandemic time, quarantine. Like we got nothing to do.
Let's build.
Let's watch people build stuff. And I think that a big part of it was the lore that they built within the Dream SMP. And I don't know if you know anything about this, but it was like it was basically like it was slightly scripted content where they would improvise everything in between, and they had their characters, and it was like all these different streamers coming together, and that each of them would have like 100,000 people watching, and everyone that came in and would tell their story from their perspective would also gain viewers, because people were like, oh, I want to go watch and see what Quackity's perspective is for this. I want to go see what Tommy's perspective is. So it was just like this huge story with multiple characters, and you could click on any of their streams and watch them happening from first person. I think it kind of built this huge lore.
Is it already big people just hanging out with the same amount of big people and creating this giant globe of like huge
I think
numbers?
each of them started to gain viewership before the pandemic, but I think that, and like before Dream SMP as well, on other SMPs, which do you even know what that is?
Yeah.
Okay.
I don't know that much.
Okay. And I think that it just was the perfect mesh of everything all in one place with the Dream SMP, and then they invited bigger and bigger creators to join who were entertaining, and
All Minecraft.
all Minecraft.
There's
If
also-
Minecraft's not on the screen, this does not. No one cares, right?
Not as much for sure, because this is in the middle of a Minecraft resurgence as well. This is when like
Yeah.
Captain Sparkles, Dynamite song became trending again.
Oh yeah.
Just because everyone, I think, was like, oh, Minecraft's around and still fun.
It was like nostalgic. It was nostalgic from the previous 8 to 10 years ago when it was really big.
And then the younger generation discovered it too.
Yeah.
And then what I have noticed on the internet is that teenage girls are the ones who create and decide what the culture is.
Yeah, they are the tastemakers.
And I actually think it's probably pre-internet. That's like Beatles. That's Elvis. That's and that's Dream SMP now. That's like Blackpink. It's like K-pop groups.
Do you think that it's because guys are not as excited about things, or do you think that it's because it's kind of shunned socially to be super excited about something as a boy?
It'd be
Definitely the
gay
latter.
to like
Yeah.
Dream SMP.
Definitely the
Like
latter.
too much or something?
I think so. In a way that maybe they can enjoy it at a younger age. Like my personal trainer talked about how he is like a 10-year-old that he used to train. And the
Damn,
kid would talk
bro.
about Dream SMP all the time.
Yeah.
And it's like there's like a youthfulness and a vulnerability that you can have at that age. That I think
Right.
when you enter like maybe middle school,
Yeah.
even if you still like it, you're probably not as vocal about it. And I think teenage girls are it's okay to be vocal about it, and they love being vocal about it. And now they have Twitter to be vocal about it,
Yeah.
which like I think is part of why Dream's face reveal was so big. Because even though Dream SMP has fallen off in a major way, because COVID has kind of wrapped up for a lot of people, and Minecraft has fallen off quite a bit. They all were connected to it at some point. So like this face reveal like brought everyone back.
Sure. Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's
And I have seen the
landmark
community
event.
thrive on Twitter of all places.
Yes.
It's free, and teenagers have nothing but time.
Yes.
Right.
It's the new Facebook.
It's,
I mean,
It's
yeah.
also
bigger
a
than
way
that.
to grow your what you enjoy. And I think there's like a weird pride that people who enjoy things have in growing the thing that they like and like make it #1 trending. Oh, let's make Dreams video get 10 mil.
Sure.
Yeah,
You
and
know?
now like I feel like trending has also changed the past few years in how it works, where it's like much more localized to the user.
Yeah.
And so it's like way easier to feel like you have a large influence.
Well, the algorithm now shows you trending things based on
right.
who you follow
Like
and stuff
every
like
day,
that.
Ludwig is trending for me.
Right.
Because
right.
it's just like a friend of mine. So it's like
Yeah.
if he gets mentioned like 5 times in a day, just like he's trending in the United States. I'm like, huh?
Yeah.
What he do?
Back in the day, it was
He's
like
not
someone's
up.
trending, like something big.
Right. Well,
happened.
it used to be like worldwide. I think it was worldwide at first trending, and then it was USA trending, and now it was
Yeah.
like localized clusters.
yeah,
Yeah.
trending in gaming, trending in
Every
this.
day
Yeah.
Hassan trends for me.
Yeah. Me
Every day,
too.
yeah.
Me too.
And it's
Hassan
like,
Twit.
it's on Twid.
Yeah.
So that's why.
Okay, man.
That's
Look,
cool.
I don't fuck. I think I'm past the age where you're like, fucking goddamn, these kids like a guy with a face mask and now he's got a real face. That's fucking lame. Like I'm past that, but I still look at it as like I'm in an alien enclosure, and I'm like,
I think it's
how did this
fascinating.
I think
honestly.
the scale that it got to in comparison to like all these kind of adjacent areas on YouTube and Twitch is what blows me away. But when you start to compare it to other things that are like more mainstream but like functionally similar, like K-pop, or like even something like the Vlog Squad, like where you like watch like one character's videos, and then you have all these recurring characters.
Yeah.
So you like, oh, well, I kind of like that guy. I'm going to go like follow and watch his stuff. And then it spreads out from there. When you have like a group of like content creators, they kind of like all build each other up over time. And there's sort of that scripted lore of it to follow and like be involved in.
Yeah.
You can have your favorite, like you can display your personality by like picking or like identifying with sections of the group that are available.
I mean, as a kid, I would watch things like the Power Rangers, and I'd like have my favorite character.
The
Have
blue
my
one, was it
favorite. You mean why was it why was it Jason, and why was it eventually Tommy?
I knew you liked Jason.
I always liked the main.
I knew
Like,
that-
I was
that-
like
that makes
Mario
fucking
and
sense.
Jason and Tommy. I was like the cool guy for some reason.
Power Rangers. This was like Dream and Tommy in it before.
No, Dream SMP is Game of Thrones for teenagers.
But yeah, exactly. So you have
Kinda.
all these
Well,
different
okay.
characters that intermingle.
Yeah.
He makes a lot of Game of Thrones references. This is a decent one. Let's
Okay.
give it to him.
Hey.
I'll
And
just
it's
join
Dark
in.
Souls too.
I'll show
It's
him.
also Dark Souls.
It's also Dark Souls. It's like Dark Souls.
It's Dark Souls 3 for gamers and gamers alike.
But as a kid, I would have loved to go see the personal point of view of my favorite characters and all
Right,
these
yeah.
things. Like if you really think about the things that you liked as a kid, and if you had access to the type of content that kids do these days, I think that we would all be part of that.
Yes, absolutely. I think about that a lot. I'm like, I'm no better, you know.
No.
I just didn't have enough. Like there wasn't enough content as a kid, you know.
Right.
That you have now.
Yeah,
You just overdose on it.
I agree.
Can I ask you one last question?
Let's go.
Because I think we're about at time. When you came up on YouTube, it was like before YouTube could really be seen as a career. And like now, it's like when kids are polled now, and being a YouTuber or a streamer is like the number one thing that kids say they want to be. When you started, what is like the tipping point that you're like, I don't like have to go to like college or get a normal job anymore? Like this is going to be my life. Like at what point did you realize like I am a YouTuber now?
Right. Yeah. I mean, I started going to community college, and we had already started making videos right out of high school. People think that we were still in high school, but it was like I was still 17. We just graduated. It was summer in between high school and college, and I didn't know what I was doing. And we just fucked around and made a video, and then it got popular a couple months later, like when we had just started community college. And I was taking classes, and in my classes, I wasn't paying any attention. I was like designing merch and coming up with game plans for how I could market this thing. Merch wasn't a thing on YouTube. Like none of this was a thing. I was just into like emo and punk bands, and they sold merch, and I was like, that's how we can make money. You couldn't make money on YouTube back then.
Yeah.
And then I kept going to community college for a few years, but I pulled back from a lot of the classes I was taking, and I only took classes that were relevant, like screenwriting and improv and things like that I could directly use in my YouTube content. But it was the moment that YouTube said, hey, you're going to be one of the first 10 channels to ever monetize content.
Oh shit.
We're going to put a little lower third ad here, and we're going to give you a guarantee each month.
I didn't know that's how it started. Actually,
yeah,
that's
it was like a year
Holy
and a half
shit.
into YouTube even being around, and they were like, we're going to start with a small cluster to see how this works. And then that was the moment where I was like, let's just pull out of college. We can always go back to college. We can't come back to this once in a lifetime thing.
Yeah.
Did you ever get a sick buyout offer from like a shit competitor?
Oh yeah, actually before YouTube offered us the exclusive deal, it wasn't even super exclusive. It was weird. It was like for 2 weeks it was like we had to be there, and we're like, why would we put it anywhere else? But we actually did make an exclusivity offer with another company where for 2 weeks we would upload there, and then we'd upload to YouTube afterwards.
Wimp.com.
It was basically like that, and that company went out of business super quick, and we were able to pull out of that contract early, thankfully, because they did some shady ass shit.
Wow.
And also MySpace had come to us with an offer.
Tom?
Dude.
Tom himself. I did meet Tom.
Really?
Yeah.
Was he doing this?
Crazy.
Yeah, no, nice gentleman, but wearing a suit. I was highly disappointed he wasn't wearing his white t-shirt. But and they were offering more money than YouTube.
Wow.
But YouTube, I was like,
This is where we post.
it's YouTube, man.
It's
We ain't
YouTube.
gotta go with
Yeah,
YouTube.
yeah. Such a
He
good
went to the
decision.
zoo. It's the videos
He
there.
went
Yeah.
right there.
Yeah.
I went on a date with Tom.
Yeah, that'll hit.
I went
Yeah,
on a
with the
date
Dream
with
SMP
could be the
kids.
next pivot.
All
You know
right.
what? You are
I've got
so
I've got
right.
the real last question. It's easy.
Yeah.
And I've been wanting this my entire
7 and a
life.
half.
I've been wanting this my entire life. What the fuck is the Smosh logo?
You know, I actually just disclosed recently for whatever anniversary that was. Like, so it was 20-year anniversary of making the website, because I made the website in 2002.
Oh,
And
shit.
Oh my
On your
God.
GeoCities shit.
Angel Fire.
Yes, sir.
And yeah, I was 14 at the time, and I was like, ooh, logos. I don't know why. I wanted to like have a logo for something that I was creating, and it was a little fast forward icon, like 2 little arrows,
Mhm.
and then it was an S for Smosh in this like really sick Linkin Park font.
Yeah. Very purely.
Yeah.
Yeah, what I do.
Very much a 14-year-old. Yeah. I was fast forward though.
It's like when people like they use their initials but they make it one letter.
Yeah.
That's
And
like
you're like,
their-
what is this jumbled mess? But I did think I was really progressive with that fast forward logo, because I was like, this is
That's how
we're
you
gonna be
manipulate
pushing
video.
forward.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
Oh,
It wasn't a video then at the
shit.
time though.
Well, it's just the idea of like play, stop. You know,
Yeah.
we're video guys.
Yeah.
You
Well, it was
know?
before. It was just a forum for
Oh,
me
I
and
see,
my
I
group
see.
of high school friends.
Damn.
Yeah.
My first website was
Yeah, like what is that
Damn.
shit?
that is the Etnies
What-
logo. Look that up.
Wait,
Yeah.
Etnies?
Yeah, Etnies.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I was
Looks a lot like
an
Etnies.
Etnies boy wearing
You
Etnies
stole the
clothing.
Etnies logo.
Did I?
For
Let
sure.
me take a look, because I think
pretty close.
I think the Howcast channel stole
That is
our logo.
that- They
actually.
definitely stole your logo.
Yeah, so I don't know about us stealing Etnies, but I do know about Howcast stealing our logo.
Pretty.
It's kind of different.
It
It
is.
remi- it's
I guess
different.
Am I
it's
thinking of-
very
It just reminds
different.
me of
Eddie's, no, that's the one. Eddie's had the coolest shirts, man.
I was wrong.
I was so into Etnies though.
My
I like
first
the one,
website
Day of the
was-
Panda, right?
No, that was Enjoy
Oh, yeah, enjoy.
with an I.
My first website I made when I was 10,
Ooh.
and it was just a picture of me with boobs. That's
No
my story.
way.
Like before Photoshop, or was that
It was,
Photoshop?
no, it wasn't Photoshop.
No, actually, it was born.
It was a picture of me. It was a picture of me in my school uniform, and I had balloons under my shirt, like I had breasts, and I just made a website, and it was just that picture.
Why didn't you tell me that when we met?
I don't know. I just remembered it, and that was the first website I ever made. And then my parents found it, and I had to explain to them what I was doing on the internet, and I got so embarrassed. I just deleted that. And then after all the videos I made, like copying you and copying other YouTube White, all the people at school started calling me gay slurs, and
Oh, boy.
then I deleted my whole YouTube channel. And
Yeah,
that's my
that'll come with the
only-
territory.
My one and only regret in my entire life is deleting my YouTube channel.
You think if you would have kept it, you would have been...
Hundreds of projects.
What about your
hundreds of
parking
videos.
job?
How about my Lincoln parking job?
Well, there you go,
Nice.
guys. Bullying does work,
Bullying
as
works.
we can see.
it makes people shameful.
It'll
and
ruin their
make
careers.
huge mistakes in their life, and that's the Yard Podcast.
That's right.
Stay tuned for us. Anthony is gonna
Evaporate.
leave. He's gonna evaporate into the ether. We'll be back for the bonus episode where we will ruthlessly bully one of us.
Right.
But who will it
They
be?
said they're too embarrassed to let me see that portion.
Yes.
So,
Well, you already saw enough. Anything you would like to shout out? Anything you have coming up?
Clothing. Let's
Yes.
go.
Yeah.
What is it? Where is it?
Padilla.store. Padilla.store. Got some brand new things.
Nice.
Got 3 pieces there. When day is this coming out?
Thursday.
Holy shit. This
YouTube.
is going to be before that's even a thing. So go there to sign up to be notified because it's going to sell out.
Cool.
Yeah.
That's hype.
Yeah.
And if
Thanks
you're
for
gonna buy
coming
his
on.
merch instead of ours, which we're promoting in the beginning of this episode, fair fight, understandable. We get it.
Your
Both will
price.
probably sell out, so
Yeah.
just, you have to be sharp.
Remember, at the end of the day, we don't have real jobs. There's people that fly planes, and we don't. So
True.
I could
do it.
I could do it.
You look like a guy that flies planes. Not going to lie. You just got that look.
I'll do it.
We'll do
Yeah.
this forever. See you guys later.
right.
See you in Patreon. Goodbye now.
Wait, I have a bit of like horsey time. Give me horsey. I like horsey. Horsey bear. This is my horsey bear.
The horse is
Horsey
bit.
bear. I like this horsey.
Suck you
Horsey
down.
bear. Horsey bear. Horsey bear. Horsey bear. Horsey bear. Yum, 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 yum,
I
yum, 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 yum,
I
yum,
do
yum, yum,
like this.
yum, 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 yum.
Yes. This is funny.
Happy again.